And brought to you live via St. Louis, Missouri. This is Bombers Game Mike. I'm Paul D, and tonight is the rubber match between the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Yankees. Game 1 went to the Redbirds 13-7 after a historic, for both the new and old Yankee Stadium, outburst of home runs. Last night in Game 2, the Bombers took it 2-0. And tonight, we have the rubber match. After a bit of a rain delay, it's hard to know how the weather's going to work out tonight. But I can tell you this. Both of these teams really want to play this game tonight. And they do not want to have to start over again tomorrow on the off day. In fact, I don't even know that it's a common off day. I'll actually check that real quick. But it is a common off day. So for some reason, things really came off the rails. We'll be back here tomorrow for what was supposed to be the off day, but we ain't there yet, and hopefully we don't get there yet. And with that said, join the Game Mike roll call. Let me know where y'all are watching or are listening from. Let me give you the starting nine for both teams here tonight. Once again, Jordan Walker is out of the lineup with some knee inflammation. It's apparently precautionary. Backed up with the scheduled off day tomorrow. Ollie Marmol seems to believe that he'll be okay and good to go on Friday night. We shall see. In addition to that, Mason Wynn getting the night off. We'll see what happens there. So the starting lineup for the visiting St. Louis Cardinals, leading off at shortstop. Remember, he can occasionally play shortstop. Is the NL rookie sensation J.J. Weatherall. Batting second behind the dish is Ivan Herrera. Batting third at first base is Alec Burleson. Batting fourth out in right field is Jose Fermin. Batting fifth in center field is Nate Church. Batting sixth at third base is Blaze Jordan, the Rook. Batting seventh out in left field is Brian Torres. At DH tonight, Jimmy Crooks. Interesting choice for DH. And batting ninth is Prieto, recently put back on the roster. Now the starting nine for the New York Yankees. Batting leadoff in center field, the lefty Trent Grisham. Batting second at DH, second night in a row, is Benjamin Rice. Batting third at first base is Luis Garcia Jr. Third game tonight in pinstripe since being acquired by the Nationals at the deadline by Brian Cashman. Batting cleanup out in left field is Helio Ramos in his second game in pinstripes after being acquired by Byron Cashman at the deadline. Batting fifth in right field is Spencer Jones. Batting sixth at second base is Jazz Chisholm Jr. Batting seventh at the hot corner tonight is Ryan McMahon, the name I can't possibly forget. Batting eighth at shortstop is George Lombard Jr. What a debut he had last night. And batting ninth behind the dish is Austin Wells. And going tonight for the Cardinals out on the bump is the often underrated but always seems to be performing Andre Pallante. 27-year-old right-hander this year in 21 starts is 11-6 with a 3.72 ERA in 118 and 2/3 innings pitched. Only 86 strikeouts in that span and a whip of 1.22. And in a way, he's kind of facing his counterpart of really productive but largely unheralded in the person of the 27-year-old right-hander Will Warren. In 22 games this year, Will Warren is 8-5 with a 4.14 ERA and 108 and 2/3 innings pitched, 109 strikeouts in that span, and a whip of 1.36. Will Warren in his last start against the Cubs at Wrigley Field, 6 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball, walked none, struck out 7. He doesn't attract a lot of attention to himself. but that doesn't mean that you can sleep on him. And undoubtedly, he presents a genuine challenge. Between him and Ryan Weathers last night, they've been kind of duking it out at the back end of that rotation as the Yankee rotation gets healthier. And certainly, at some point, Carlos Rodon will return for the Yankees at some point. One of them will probably go to the bullpen if they don't do a six-man rotation thing, which I really wouldn't put it past him at this point. So we're about 3.5 minutes away from scheduled first pitch. Join the game, Mike. Roll call. Let me see where y'all are watching or listening from. And we will start from the top. And I'm not going to read my own words on there. Well, Nola, check it in, Paul. New coffee test. Hope we enjoy a clean aircast. We can only hope, Philip. Good evening, Bombers fams. How you doing? Jeff, I'm doing just fine. How are you? Roger Bassman, let's win a series, birds, and not a moment too soon. Harold, evening, gents. Good to see you, and good to see you too. So it looks like, what is going on here? Don't tell me they're putting the tarp back on the field. Oh my goodness, they're putting the tarp back on the field. Oh, come on. Oh, are you serious? Tarp back on the field, folks. Can't make it up. I don't think I've ever actually seen that in baseball, where they take the tarp off, clean everything up, and then decide, oh, well, geez, there's more rain on the way. Let's put it back on. And Justin Beasley, our master on the score bug here this evening. If you want to take a quick look at the X account for the Yankees on Twitter, they're gonna cancel tonight. Oh my goodness. Oh no, really? Justin, are they really canceling tonight? Oh, okay. Okay, that was just Justin predicting something there. I don't know what's going to happen at this point, folks. But this is what we're going to do. The stream is going to continue moving along. However, I am going to put up a rain delay graphic. Because rain delay theater, when you have absolutely no idea when this is all supposed to resume, is a very difficult thing to do. And it's something that I've shied away from in the past. But in this case, I don't really have that much of an option. But right now, wait a second. They were just putting it on the field. Now they're taking it off again. I mean, folks, talk about being just thrown around all over the place here. It's really bizarre. So it looks like we are going to have baseball because now they're taking the tarp off the field again. And you can't pretend like it has anything to do with how that thing is properly rolled up. I don't think they have to stretch it out all over again to do that. Whatever the case is, for right now, I'm going to stick here because it looks like we have baseball incoming. We'll see what happens. But it looks like we're going to play baseball. It looks like it's going to be a little longer. And that's what we kind of have to deal with at the moment. I know as much as you know right now. And let's take a look here. All right, let's look up that Yankee Twitter account, see if they have anything else to say. Not seeing anything? Okay. Well, for the time being, then, we're going to stick here because everything I see on the live broadcast suggests we are going to play some baseball here. But it's just been back and forth. It's just all of a sudden they're sitting there with it on the field. Then all of a sudden it's coming off. I have never really experienced that in baseball. But you want to know what? When you're calling almost, underline almost every inning, every pitch of every game, you begin seeing weird stuff you didn't notice before. And I suppose that's just the story there. Hope the Cards win the series. I'm hopeful they make the playoffs. Go Redbirds, go. Well, siblings gaming, I think we could all sign up for that. Myself included, no doubt. Yeah. It's a real tease. It's kind of unbelievable in so many ways. But, so we're going to stand by here. I mean, it looks like everything is fired up and getting ready to go, as far as I can tell. So, we stand by. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday night. Thank you for spending it with us here at Game Mike. And yeah, that tarp is definitely coming off the field. And the field is looking all nice and pretty, as it often does there. They do a very, very fine job with the grounds crew work, including that, at times, rather asinine YMCA dance in the 6th inning. It's just not what it used to be, folks, but I think that's true of a lot of us in life when you get to a certain age and you begin realizing that not everything is the way it once was, and the way it once was most of the time was vastly better. Anthony D. Michelle, fly, Redbirds, fly. And soon. Okay, so getting the report there from Justin Beasley. Apparently everybody on Twitter /X/ whatever it's being called now, whatever the name is this week, everybody is also baffled by the tarp situation. But it's definitely coming off. I have the live feed there. They're rolling up. There's no question about it. In terms of the actual forecast for tonight, I've been following along on it. I'm not going to pretend that Apple weather is, the height of weather prediction. They claim they get it from the National Weather Service, like the Weather Channel, despite the fact that the Weather Channel does actually seem to have far better information the vast majority of the time. All right, let's put it in for the Bronx. All right. There we go. Yeah, there's a chance this thing could be a little wet throughout this one. But as I was saying earlier, neither team wants to play this game tomorrow, let alone start this game tonight, play a couple innings, and then still have to come back tomorrow. And what do we have? Whoa! A couple of $1 supers from Jeff Coleman. You better go visit him down at Panera Bread at Mid-Rivers Mall right now. Well, not right now, but soon. Very, very soon. Right off of Veterans Memorial and I-70. So, we can converse a bit. It shouldn't be terribly much longer. Without that tarp on the field, tarp's off. A whole new, original meaning to the word. Well, we're in New York City, so it's a crazy place. The insanity, Alan, in living in that place, in that particular concrete jungle, it's definitely not for everybody. Interesting little tidbit here. So, in my rain delay activities, which might I add, when you're calling a game and you expect to call it at a certain time, your preparation leads you up to that time. And then you find out, oh, well, geez, I think we're going to push back an hour. And then all of a sudden you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs or pacing back and forth like a tiger in a cage. It's really quite maddening. But something I will share with you all is this little memento here is a very special one for me personally. I got it at the old Yankee Stadium. This is not to be confused with my signed Joe Torre ball by any means. This is something even more precious. In the year of our Lord, 2004, in late July at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees were hosting the then Tampa Bay Devil Rays. And in that particular season, Tina Martinez, a first baseman for both the Yankees and the Cardinals, an all-around amazing dude and really good player, truly beloved in Yankee land, no doubt, was taking batting practice because he had signed there on a one-year deal. And usually I don't bring the glove to the ballpark, but that day I decided to do it. Don't ask me why, I don't remember. And during batting practice, we were sitting over the Canon advertisement at the very top of the left field wall, maybe a dozen feet to the left of the left field pole, left from my position looking towards home plate. And Tino Martinez got in the cage and started hitting around. And he's a left-handed hitter, so there's a lot of pull stuff going on, but he's not like today's pull hitters where it's exclusively pull. He would go the other way. And then he started spraying around. And then all of a sudden, he hits one. It goes up above the very top crest of the stadium into the late afternoon, early evening, late July, New York summer haze. And all of a sudden, it starts coming down, and it's slicing in my direction. And when I say on top of the wall, I do mean on top of the wall. The seats go right up against it in the old left field Yankee Stadium. Same with the new one. And a couple of minutes before, I told my friend, hey, give me the glove. And so we're hanging out above the wall, above the warning track. And I see this thing come down, and I stick out my glove. And out of what appears to be pure providence, pop right into the glove. And I have had it ever since. It's one of my prized possessions. Lord knows, at that point in time, I was 16 years old, and there was no player on either team that was going to do me any favors to toss anything up to me. So I had to go and get it myself, and surely I did. And now I have shared that lovely anecdote with all of you. Now, if I can get this thing back in, that'd be lovely. Getting ready to step into the batter's box is J.J. Weatherall. Will Warren here, 8-5 with a 4.14 ERA, 36 walks against 109 strikeouts, a 1.36 whips in 21 starts this year. Oh, this thing is certainly worth every penny that was paid for, wasn't it? We'll take care of that one later. So getting ready to step into the box is J.J. Weatherall. Will Warren, a four-seamer, a sinker, a sweeper. A sinker, he definitely enjoys keeping the ball down in the zone. Defensive lineman for the Yankees, Ramos in left, Grisham in center, Jones in right, McMahon at third, Lombard Jr. at short, Jazz Chisholm at second, Luis Garcia Jr. at first. Austin Wells is behind the dish and battery mate to Will Warren, who is on the mound. Due up here at the top of the first inning, Weatherall, Herrera, and Burleson. Stepping into the box is J.J. Weatherall. Stepping up to the bump is Will Warren. And stepping up to the proverbial microphone is yours truly. It is a righty-lefty matchup. Infield shaded towards right. The very first pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away, ruled a ball, and we are underway. It is a 1-0 count. J.J. Weatherall hitting .248, 16 home runs, 41 RBIs, and .734 OPS in 108 games. Now, the 1-0. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Hi, Jimmy. How's it going? It's good to see you, too. Now, Warren sets and motions the 2-0 offering. A sinker well away and out of the zone. The count is 3 balls and no strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the first inning, no score here in the rubber match following a reasonable rain delay. Warren sets the 3-0. Strike, four-seam fastball outer, third at the knees. The count is 3 balls and 1 strike. And everybody give a hand to Justin Beasley on the scorebug tonight, doing the incredible job that he often, and not often does, he always does. Now the 3-1. Strike, sweeper on the outside corner. Very generous call there. I was surprised it wasn't challenged by Weatherall, and the count is 3-2. Now he sets, does Warren. Winds the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball away, so J.J. Weatherall works a leadoff walk here in the top of the first inning. Now here comes Ivan Herrera, who is behind the dish tonight. Hitting .240 with 12 home runs, 46 RBIs in 113 games. Righty-righty matchup, the first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. 40 likes. Oh, yes. Wow. 40 likes already. Thank you, guys. Warren from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. A sweeper well out and away and over the lefty batter's box. The count is 1-1. Ivan Herrera has been heating up of late. Has a runner on here with a runner on first, nobody out. The 1-1 pitch. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-1 strike. So I hope you all are having a wonderful evening despite rain delay theater. Coming set is Warren, the 2-1. A sinker away and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. Will Warren having initially a little trouble spotting his pitches in the strike zone. Leading off first is J.J. Weatherall. Infield defense definitely shaded towards left against Herrera. And they change up the baseballs, which Will Warren proceeds to rub up to his own specification. From the stretch is Will Warren, the 3-1. Strike, sinker on the inner third at the knees. The count is 3-2. Well, I am so happy to hear that, Siblings Gaming. I'm glad I can provide that for you. Runner leads off first. It's a 3-2 count. There was a temporary light outage in a portion of the Yankee Stadium lighting, which looks like it's being rebooted right now. So we have ourselves a brief break in the action. And only part of them are actually illuminated at this point, but it might be enough to proceed. Like I said, strange night. Ivan Herrera standing out of the box with his helmet off, just chatting it up there with Austin Wells. In a way that you never would have seen a generation ago or before that, where teams generally were very, very tight-knit with each other, and it wasn't this great brotherhood of players. And I have mixed feelings on that, admittedly, but you know what? So be it. So we're waiting for the Yankee Stadium lighting situation to work its way out. How much is beer at the game in New York City compared to St. Louis? Honestly, Steve, I'm actually kind of the worst person to ask about that. Just for medical reasons, I haven't been able to drink alcohol in a very long time. And because of that, I haven't checked. But I guarantee you it's over $10. Easily. Probably close to $12. I'm just guessing. $17.50 at Tropicana Field. No kidding. Oh, boy. Well, that's a thing. So we have ourselves a brief delay in the action due to the lighting situation at the big ballpark in the Bronx. Surely they have not had any trouble paying their electric bills. So we'll see how this goes. Another minor delay. What's that in the big scheme of the world? All right, let's see here. Gives me an opportunity to try to put this back in. There we go. Other items of interest on Paul D's desk you can't see. Elizabeth Tower and Big Ben even tells the time. All right, so it looks like we're heading back to the action here. Yankee Stadium is fully rebooted electrically. Back onto the bump is Will Warren. Waiting to step back into the box is Ivan Herrera. In fact, Will Warren's throwing some pitches here to stay warm, which is probably a good idea. Yes, Max, J.J. Weatherall indeed walked. Alrighty, back into the box is Herrera. It's a 3-2 count. He comes set. Holding the 3-2. Swinging strike three on the four-seam fastball upstairs for the first out of the inning. So Ivan Herrera takes it to a full count, goes down to hack, and now here is Alec Burleson with his first true at-bat since Monday night. He pinch hit last night, but they walked him intentionally after 2 pitches. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup with a runner on first with 1 out. Top of the first inning, no score. Warren comes set. The first pitch to Burleson. Strike, sinker on the outside corner below the belt. The count is 0-1. Alec Burleson hitting .288 right now. That average is going up. The pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball, whispers over the black of the outside corner above the knees, and Burleson's in the hole to Warren. No balls and 2 strikes. Runner on first with 1 out. In the top of the first inning, there is no score. Coming set is Will Warren. The 0-2. Swinging strike 3 on the changeup, down and away. Swinging over the top of that one was Burleson for the second out of the inning. So, Will Warren recovers there from the leadoff walk so far with a pair of strikeouts of Herrera and Burleson. Here's Jose Fermin in right field. He's the 4-hitter tonight. 242, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs in 77 games, a 665 OPS. He's been an everyday player almost lately. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch. Swinging strike on the 4-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 0-1. Yeah, I remember those days too, Harold. I think they have come and gone. Now the 0-1. Hit up the middle. Picked up by George Lombard Jr. behind second. He throws to first in time to get Fermin by a step for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walk, and 1 left on. After 1/2 inning of play, it is the St. Louis Cardinals 0 and the New York Yankees coming to bat. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Okay. Yeah, you definitely do need to strap things to your brother Joe. It's like going to the movies. A 16-ounce metal bottle of Bud Light was $12.50. Highway robbery. All right, let's see. One of those styrofoam coolers and slam a 12 and leave the cooler at the gate. Better times, my friend, better times. Really should have been in the game last night, but oh well, I don't care about left-handers. Yeah, that I think was also just an excuse to give him a day off. That's really where it is right now. The one thing you can notice about the Cardinals, Brother Joe, and everybody else here, obviously, is they're very, very careful with the health of their players. And in some ways, just based on the fact that this team has not been utterly plagued with injuries, there seems to be something to that. But, you know, over 162 games, and I was talking a bit of business about last night, sometimes you got to protect players from themselves, so they'll just keep going. Now, stepping on the bump is Pallante, 11-6 with a 3.72 ERA, 34 walks against 86 strikeouts and 21 starts, a 1.22 whip. A 4-seamer, a slider, a sinker, a knuckle curve, and the split finger. The key is in the knuckle curve, folks. If it's doing what he wants it to do, he's going to have a good night. He'll face Trent Grisham, righty-lefty matchup here in the bottom of the first inning. Pallante winds, Pallante deals. A 4-seam fastball clear upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Trent Grisham hitting .214, 12 home runs, 43 RBIs in 94 games, a 699 OPS. Pallante winds the 1-0. Strike, 4-seam fastball outer third below the belt. The count is 1-1. It is a very interesting pitch, Brother Joe. It's a very interesting pitch. Now, the 1-1 offering. Strike, slider, whispers over the black of the outside corner at the knees to the lefty Grisham, and the count is 1-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the first inning, no score. The lefties, and the lights go off again. Like half of the stadium just went dark. So we get to wait a little longer here, folks. This has been an absolutely bizarre night. Maybe my joke about the Yankees not paying their electric bills had more truth to it than I realized when I was mentioning it sardonically. So we're going to wait for them to reboot the thing. This is like the Super Bowl between the 49ers and the Ravens at the Superdome down in Nolens. I think we all probably remember that one. Yeah, I know, Joe. I know, Brother Joe. So the lighting is being rebooted. It is absolutely wacky stuff, Justin. Yeah, the old knuckle curve. Well, this is how I throw it. People will throw it other ways as well. It's interesting because you don't have to flick the wrist at all or anything like that. So it looks like they're going to resume play here shortly. Oh, Harold, you're getting spicy. Getting spicy there. So, we wait a little longer for the 1-2 offering to Trent Grisham. Re-signed with the Yankees in the offseason when he took their qualifying offer. He's back into the box. Pallante comes set. Now the 1-2 pitch. There's a fly ball out to center field. Coming into right center is Church. He's underneath it to make the catch for the first out of the inning. Tarps on, tarps off, lights on, lights off. That's pretty much it, Doge Bowl. Now, here is Benjamin Rice, the left-hander. He's at DH, usually manning first, but clearly there's a preference for Luis Garcia Jr. defensively there. I don't know exactly how Ben Rice feels about being a full-time DH. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Pallante. A four-seam fastball down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. I see, Martin, I see. For me, it was all around Mike Messina. Now, he wants a 1-0 offering. Strike, four-seam fastball outside corner at the knees. The count is 1-1. Switching up the baseball there real quick. Ben Rice hitting .262 this year. 30 home runs. The early August, he was an AL All-Star, started the game. Now, the 1-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball down and in, ruled a ball very close there, and the count is 2-1. Pallante gets back onto the bump. Nobody on with one out. Bottom of the first inning, no score. He winds, and the 2-1. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 2-2 to Ben Rice. 8 pitches so far for Pallante. Ben Rice steps out of the box briefly, taps his helmet, gingerly climbs back in. Pallante looks in. He comes motion. The 2-2. A knuckle curve down and in and out of the zone. The count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, yeah, Philip. It's a Cheech and Chong job for sure. Looking in is Pallante, winding the 3-2. There's a fly ball into very shallow right center field. Underneath it is Prieto. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So a fly out, and what it was effectively a kind of a pop out, even though I think it'll be scored a fly out for the first 2 outs. Here's Luis Garcia Jr., third game in pinstripe since being acquired from the Nationals at the deadline by Brian Cashman. On deck is Helio Ramos. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Now, the first pitch from Pallante. A four-seam fastball well up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Oh, yeah, that's something I've been doing for a little while now, Brother Joe. It's interesting. Now, the 1-0 pitch. A slider down and in, actually bounces slightly in front of home plate. The count is 2-0. Luis Garcia Jr. hitting .285 at the moment. He was having quite a year for the Nats before being acquired. Pallante winds, Pallante deals. Hit to the right side, picked up on a couple of bounces there by Burleson. He boots the ball, and safe at first is Luis Garcia Jr. So Alec Burleson boots a routine ground ball at first base, and Luis Garcia Jr. will reach on that. There's no question that's going to be ruled an error on Burleson. So I'm calling it now error 3 there. So there's a runner on first with 2 out. He had it in front of him, but he couldn't get it into the glove, and then it rolled away from him. And that's the end of the story there. From the stretch is Pallante. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch to Helio Ramos. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. And it's interesting because we don't see that much from Burleson. Ramos hitting .269 home runs, 34 RBIs, a .718 OPS in 75 games. It's a righty-righty matchup. Runner leads off first. It's a 1-0 count. Pallante sets at the Birds, the 1-0. A slider down and away and out of the zone. It's ruled a ball. The count is 2-0. Burley doesn't often make those mistakes. He's becoming a very solid everyday first baseman. But not that time. You could tell he was disappointed in himself. Cummins sets Pallante. The pitch. Swinging strike on the slider down and away. Swinging over the top of that one was Helio Ramos. The count is 2-1. Pallante sets at the Birds. Garcia Jr. leads off first with 2 out. And the 2-1 offering. Swinging strike on the sinker up and in. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Helio Ramos. Second game in pinstripes, Brian Cashman trying to fill that right-handed bat in the lineup that he couldn't figure out with catcher. Now he comes set. Throwing over to first. And he is picked off first base is Luis Garcia Jr. for the third and final out of the inning. Oh, what a play there by Pallante to get Luis Garcia Jr. napping there down at first for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 walk, nobody left on. After 1 full inning of play, it is no score going to the top of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Back to the chat. Oh, what a play there by Pallante. Oh, my goodness. Talk about helping out your own cause. Picking up Burleson like that. Oh, that's music, folks. That is music. I knew the second when I saw him throwing over and they changed the camera angle immediately, I knew immediately he was picked off. It's like he's napping, he's going a little too far. He doesn't think Pallante's going to throw over, but he did. And he got him. And that's something. We shall see, Brother Joe. We shall see. So, scoreless going to the top of the second inning. Due up for the Redbirds. Nate Church, Blaze Jordan, and Brian Torres. So, 5, 6, and 7 in the Redbird order. We are all scoreless here. So, did you all have a good Wednesday? Did the world treat you well? I'm just glad to have you here. You don't get matchups like this very often. The two most historically significant teams from a winning perspective playing the one series a year they play against each other in the regular season. One of the strangest pitching stances I've seen with his delivery. Yes, sir, just work as always. Good to go, Brother Joe. Rainy here today makes for a slow day at the boat shop. Sure it does, Justin. No, he does have something of an eccentric delivery, Brother Joe. There's no question. Jeff Coleman, super glad to be here, Paul D. Your call is second to none. Well, thank you, Jeff. Now, the first pitch. Four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0 to Nate Church. It's the top of the second inning, no score. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Warren looks into Wells. He comes motion, the 1-0. Hit down the left field line, giving chase is Ramos next to the stands, and it goes about 2 rows deep, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, I like a really good pitching duel too, Harold. I don't know if I'm old school like that or not, but I like it. Yeah, let's see if those Yankee Stadium lights will persevere here tonight. The 1-1. Chop foul and rolls over towards the Yankee dugout. The count is 1-2. That was a curveball down and into Nate Church. 20 pitches so far for Will Warren. Nate Church right now is hitting .233. Will Warren is back onto the rubber. Looking in towards Wells. He comes wide. The pitch. Foul tipped and rolls over towards the Cardinal on deck circle on the changeup low, and the count is 1-2. Nate Church steps back into the box. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the second inning, no score. Looking in is Will Warren. He comes motion. The 1-2 to Church. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count remains 1-2. So Nate Church is trying to battle back in this at-bat here. Had an amazing night on Monday in that 13-7 victory. Looking in is Warren. He comes wide. The 1-2. Hit to the left side and into left field for a leadoff base hit off the bat of Nate Church. And the Cardinals have a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. And here comes the rook from the hot corner, Blaze Jordan. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. That seemed to be, it looked like a slider that was left up on the outside corner. And then Church just did what he had to do with it, which is go the other way, poked it out in the left field, picked up by Helio Ramos. Now here is Blaze Jordan hitting .244, the first pitch. A sinker away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Righty versus righty matchup, by the way. Nate Church is at first with nobody out. Top of the second inning. Come in set is Warren. The 1-0. Strike sweeper on the inner third below the belt. The count is 1-1. Blaze Jordan hitting .244 with a homer and 22 RBIs in 40 games, a .631 OPS. Come in set. The 1-1. Hit to the left side. Picked up there at short by Lawrence Lombard Jr. He throws the second one. On to first, a double play. A 6-4-3 double play for the first and second out of the inning. So Blaze Jordan grounds out into a double play. And now nobody on with 2 out top of the second inning. Here comes Brian Torres. Hitting .239 this year. 4 home runs, 13 RBIs in 45 games, a .717 OPS. Another valuable utility player that can put almost anywhere. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Warren. A sweeper up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. That kid, George Lombard Jr., second major league game. He's definitely flashing the leather in addition to the lumber. He comes set. The 1-0. Strike, sweeper on the outside quarter. Well, the outer third at the knees. The count is 1-1. Now he comes set. The 1-1 pitch. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Nobody on with 2 out. Top of the second inning. Following the grounding into a double play by Blaze Jordan. Now the 2-1 offering. Chop foul and rolls over towards the Yankee dugout on the curveball away. The count is 2-2. Briefly stepping out of the box is Brian Torres. But he climbs back into the saddle. Warren comes wide. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 over the sinker, down and away. Hacking over the top of that one was Brian Torres for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, nobody left on. After 1.5 innings of play, it is scoreless going to the bottom of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Scoreless going bottom of 2. Let's go back to the chat. All right. Washing dishes. Okay. Yeah, well, indeed. The double play ball, man. Harsh mistress. Harsh mistress. All right. Yeah, it looked like they might have had something cooking there after that 1-2 single to left off the bat of Nate Church. 'Twas not to be. For now, indeed, Harold. For now, indeed. Due up for the Bombers in the bottom of the second inning. Helio Ramos, Spencer Jones, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. So 4, 5, and 6 in the Yankee order. Pallante had a very efficient bottom of the first inning. 1, 2, 3. He's interesting because he doesn't strike out a lot of guys, doesn't walk a lot of guys. He'll pitch to contact. And it's amazing he doesn't get burned that often. He's really seemed to make it work for him. And, credit to him, trusting your defense. So, we'll see from there. Interesting point, though, is Pallante actually does pitch better on the road, ERA-wise, compared to when he pitches at Busch, which I just find interesting. I just find that interesting, just given how much of a pitcher's part Busch Stadium has been this year. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the second inning. There is no score. Due up is Helio Ramos. Remember, he was at the plate when Luis Garcia Jr. got picked off for the third and final out of the inning back in the bottom of the first. The first pitch, swinging strike on the four-seam fastball on the outer third below the belt. The count is 0-1. We are all out of bubblegum indeed, Brother Joe. Now, the 0-1 pitch. A sinker up and in and out of the zone to Ramos. The count is 1-1. Ramos hitting .260 right now. Most of that was San Francisco. He comes one. Pallante deals. Hit to the right side and into right field. Down the line. Picked up out there in right field. He's coming around first. He's running into second. There's the throw, but he is safe with the head first slide. So a leadoff double off the bat of Helio Ramos. And the Yankees have a runner on second with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. He just plunked that thing down the line, almost like he was steering it. It looked to be a sinker in, about thigh high. Just got enough on it, hit it where they ain't. The rest is history, which is also a very good podcast, by the way. And that's coming with the recommendation of a longtime history podcaster. Here is Spencer Jones, the giant left-hander. 41 games this year, hitting .221, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, a .706 OPS. Got called up in early May. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Runner on second, nobody out. And boy, does he look like a giant. 6'7". Now, Cummins says Pallante at the Birds. He's from the stretch. The first pitch to Spencer Jones. Strike, four-seam fastball outside quarter above the knees. The count is 0-1. Now, Cummins set is Pallante. He holds the 0-1 offering. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and away. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Helio Ramos standing down there at second, following the leadoff double here in the bottom of the second inning. Pallante looks in to Herrera, who's behind the dish. He sets at the Birds. The 0-2. A knuckle curve bounced out in front of home plate. It is clearly a ball. The count is 1-2. Blocked very well there by Herrera. Herrera has become a very good receiver. Just can't really throw guys out. Pallante's back in the bump. He looks in for the sign. Well, the proverbial sign. Pitch com, folks. He comes set. Now the 1-2 pitch. A knuckle curve down and away and out of the zone. Once again, blocked very well there by Ivan Herrera. The count is 2-2. Oh, brother Joe. Whoops. Now, come in set. The 2-2. A slider away and out of the zone. The count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner leads off second. He comes set. The 3-2 from Pallante. Swinging strike 3. Down, hack, and goes Spencer Jones for the first out of the inning. So that's kind of been Spencer Jones' bugaboo. Even down in the minors is that he struck out a lot. And that's what we just got here. Now here's Jazz Chisholm Jr. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Runner on second with 1 out. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch. A 4-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. 97 miles an hour. The count's 1-0. Jazz Chisholm hitting .218, 17 home runs, 46 RBIs in 106 games. A .694 OPS. Coming set is Pallante. The 1-0. Strike, 4-seam fastball down and in. The count is 1-1. Leading off second is Helio Ramos. It's a 1-1 count. He sets at the Birds. A 1-1 pitch. A slider down and away, blocked once again very well there by Herrera. And the count is 2-1. The breaking pitches don't seem to be breaking precisely the way he wants them to this inning. And he might be fighting through a little something there. He takes off his cap and takes a deep breath. In fact, J.J. Wetherall comes out from short to have a little word with Pallante out on the mound, which is precisely what you'd want from one of your team captains. And in fact, Ivan Herrera joins him. I don't know, maybe out of pure obligation. It's hard to say. So he gets back onto the bump. Jazz Chisholm Jr. Clearly looks like he's been inconvenienced by that meeting on the mound, if I could describe it as anything. Runner leads off second. They're probably discussing the possibility of a pickoff throw with Helio Ramos, if I'm guessing. It's a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back on the 4-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 2-2. Yeah, Harold, it's just the way it looked. It's like, why are you wasting my time? You're just like looking up in the air. It's like, oh, God. Another meeting on the mound. 30 pitches so far for Pallante. He comes set. Now the 2-2 to Jazz. A 4-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 3-2. .31 pitches here for Pallante. It's a full count with 1 out, runner on second, bottom of the second, no score. Pallante sets at the Birds. The 3-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the 4-seam fastball inside. For the second out of the inning, Jazz Chisholm Jr. goes down hacking. And really, at first, I couldn't tell if he got a piece of the thing, but he most certainly did not. So that is the second out of the inning. Now there's a runner on second with 2 out here in the bottom of the second inning, no score. Here's a lefty, Ryan McMahon, the third baseman. He's in .214. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Pallante. A 4-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 1-0. Ryan McMahon hitting .214, 10 home runs, 27 RBIs in 94 games, a .647 OPS. That 10th home run came on Monday night. It's 1-0 count. Pallante sets at the Birds. Now the 1-0 offering. A four-seam fastball well up and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Ryan McMahon climbs back into the saddle. Another big crowd at Yankee Stadium tonight. Pallante comes set. Now the 2-0. Swinging strike on the slider on the outer third below the belt. Swinging underneath that one was Ryan McMahon. The count is 2-1. I love big league Joe breeding. I love that stuff as a kid. I even occasionally like it now. McMahon's back into the saddle. Coming set at the Birds is Pallante. Runner leads off second. The 2-1 offering. Hit to the left side. Squib picked up there at third by Blaze Jordan. He throws to first in time for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, one hit, no walks, one left on. The Yankees strand Helio Ramos at second, following that leadoff double to right. It is scoreless going to the top of the third inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action tonight here on Game Mike, and you feel I've earned it, please do leave a like. Your likes are doing a great deal of good, helping this channel continue to grow, get it pushed out there to more Cardinals fans who need all the help they can get this year trying to follow this team day in and day out, and you have my eternal gratitude. And if you like what you see and hear and you're not already subscribed, well, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, scoreless going top of 3. Let's go back to the chat. Time to score some run, boys. Yes, absolutely. Oh, well, thank you, Jeff. I do what I can. C. John, good evening, all. Good to see you, C. John. Always a welcome sight. 64 likes, eh, Brother Joe? Okay. I can get down with that here after 2 full innings. Well, I would also say that Michael McGreevy certainly is. No question. And then after that, you know, those 3 right-handers there, they have the magic. I mean, Quinn Matthews did a very good job in his first major league start this past Saturday. I'll hold nothing against him. And Matthew Liberatore, of course, pitches like Sandy Koufax every time I'm not calling one of his games. Fun stuff. So that's my best answer to you, Philip. All right, we are back here for the top of the third inning. Due up is Jimmy Crooks, Prieto, and Weatheralt. So 8, 9, and 1. Jimmy Crooks is the DH tonight. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Jimmy Crooks is hitting 174. One of the more interesting DH choices at 174. The first pitch. Strike, sweeper down Broadway. The count is 0-1. It's the top of the third inning. There is no score. Hey, Cat Snow, good to see you back. Now, the 0-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup, down and away, and the count is 0-2. Anybody know when May is due up in Brewer rotation? Oh, it's got to be soon. It's got to be soon. Now, Warren sets the 0-2. Foul tipped on the changeup away, so staying alive there is Jimmy Crooks. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. So, taking a deep breath out of the box is Jimmy Crooks. He gets back into the saddle. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the third inning, no score. Will Warren looks in, and the 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the changeup, down and in. Swinging over the top of that one was Jimmy Crooks for the first out of the inning. So Jimmy Crooks goes down hacking for the first out. Jimmy Crooks is why we say all prospects are suspects. Who knows? Maybe he'll figure it out at some point, but It's not looking good right now. Now here's a lefty Prieto, a righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Warren. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Prieto wearing bright yellow cleats. The 1-0 pitch. A four-seam fastball away and ruled a ball. The count is 2-0 to Prieto. Cesar Prieto, 27 years old. Now the 2-0 pitch. Hit down the left field line and out of play on the four-seam fastball away. The count is 2-0. Prieto has only 23 Major League at-bats. Hitting .043. And that's pretty much kind of the story there. Now the pitch. A sinker up and in. It is initially ruled a ball. Looks to be challenged there by the Yankees and Austin Wells. ABS challenge incoming. And it confirmed a ball. It missed the zone and not by much. By less than 0.1 inches. The count is 3-1. Prieto gets back into the saddle. Warren looks in. Next pitch is his 40th. Here's the pitch. Hit out there into center field. Charging in is Grisham. He makes a head diving catch for the second out of the inning. A head first diving catch out there by Trent Grisham. Had to come charging in on the thing to his left. And then went sliding on his belly with that wet outfield. Now there are 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. There is no score. This mid-game interview today is with Pedro Pajes, correspondent in the dugout and everything. Now the first pitch of J.J. Weatherall. Strike, sweeper down Broadway. The count is 0-1. J.J. Weatherall, in his first plate appearance tonight, he walked. Lead off the game. It's a righty-lefty matchup. 41 pitches so far for Will Warren. Nobody on with 2 out. Top of the third, no score. Here's the pitch. A changeup well down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Paul's Paradise, huh? That's an interesting way of describing it, Philip. The 1-1. A chinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. That makes it sound awfully exotic. J.J. Weatherall hitting .248 with 16 home runs and 41 RBIs in 108 games, a .735 OPS. Back onto the bump is Will Warren. He wants the 2-1 offering. A changeup down and in ruled a ball. The count is 3-1. Harold, you get my sense of humor. My dry as burnt toast humor. Warren sets the 3-1 to Weatherall. Hit on up the middle and picked up on a hop there by George Lombard Jr. behind second. He gets to his feet. He throws the first and he gets Weatherall just in time for the third and final out of the inning. He threw that from shallow center field to George Lombard Jr. for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks. Nobody left on. After 2.5 innings of play, it is scoreless going to the bottom of the third inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Scoreless going bottom of 3. Let's go back to the chat. Okay. Paradise Paul D. Oh, that'd be quite the alter ego, to say the least. The road not traveled, Harold, and thankfully so. So that play there by George Lombard Jr., second Major League game, he got that thing on a hop behind second in shallow center field, got to his feet, and still managed to get JJ by half a step. I mean, just credit where credit is due, you know. And Weatherall flies down the line. That guy has young legs. He knows how to use them. That makes it all the more impressive. The athleticism there is just undeniable. Paul's Paradise is a gentleman's club I used to go to. I think Justin is picking up what I'm laying down, folks. Paul's Boutique. It's an idea, empty light project. Yep, Yankee D is looking good to Paul. Yeah, that's one thing about George Lombard Jr. that was really touted was his athleticism, in addition to the bat and the rest of it. That, you want to see young players play well. You're 21 years old. What were we doing when we were 21? I can tell you this. I was not starting at shortstop for the Yankees. That position was quite filled at the time. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the third inning. Due up is the aforementioned George Lombard Jr., Austin Wells, and Trent Grisham. So 8, 9, and 1 in the Bomber order. It's a righty-righty matchup. Into the box is George Lombard Jr. Coming one. The first pitch from Pallante. Strike, slider on the inner third, thigh high. The count is 0-1. There is no score here in the bottom of the third inning. Now, the 0-1 pitch. Check swing on the sinker up and in. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the first baseline. The count is 1-1. It wasn't that close, but they still looked. Pallante comes one. He deals. Chop foul and rolls over towards the Cardinal on deck circle on the sinker away. The count is 1-2. And the score bug tonight on Cardinals.tv is brought to you by Menards. I don't know about you, but they keep saying the word out there is you save big money. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm misinformed. Pallante looks in. He winds the 1-2 to Lombard Jr. A sinker upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 2-2. Now, something I didn't realize until this morning, George Lombard Jr. is one of the sons of one of the coaches on the Tigers staff. Now, the 2-2 offering. A sinker well inside and out of the zone, in at 96 miles an hour, the right hand of Pallante. The count is 3-2. Pallante looks in and winds a 3-2 pitch. Chop foul and rolls over towards the Cardinal on deck circle on the slider away. The count remains 3-2 strikes. Rush Dash, what's up? Not much, Rush Dash. How's life up in San Carlos? George Lombard Jr. hit a meaty 500. Now the 3-2 pitch. Hit to the left side, picked up there on the ground by Wetherell. He throws to first in time to get George Lombard Jr., who grounds out 6-3 for the first out. So J.J. Wetherell repays the favor tonight to his counterpart in pinstripe for the first out. Opens the door to a father-son connection in coaching maybe one day. Perhaps so, Harold. The Bombers Game Mike Scorebug is brought to you by me, JB. Deal with it. The first pitch to Wells, hit out there into left field, charging in is the left fielder Torres. He has to pick it up on a hop, so a one-out single to left for Austin Wells, and the Yankees have a runner on first with one out here in the bottom of the third inning. Oh, I think we can deal with that just fine, Justin. I am eternally grateful for it. It looked to be either a sinker or a four-seamer on the outer third, about thigh-high. Austin Wells, though he has not hit well this year, has hit well in this series. He even has a home run back on Monday night. Who didn't? Now here's Trent Grisham. He's 0 for 1. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off first with one out. The first pitch to Grisham. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third below the belt. The count is 0-1. That came in at 96 miles an hour out of the right hand of Pallante. 45 pitches for Andre. Wells leads off first. From the stretches, Pallante setting at the Birds. The 0-1 offering. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball upstairs, and the count is 2 strikes. I will say this, since weather is a big topic of interest here tonight. It was actually a much more pleasant day here in the St. Louis area than it's been in a long time. Focusing there on Giancarlo Stanton, hasn't played since the end of April with reoccurring calf issues. Pallante's back under the bump. He sets at the Birds. Runner leads off first with 1 out. Now the 0-2 to Grisham. Check swing on the slider down and in. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the third baseline. The count is 1-1. And the home plate umpire briefly calls time, at the behest of whom I cannot say. I do not know. 47 pitches so far for Pallante. He comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Swing in, strike 3. Down, hacking goes Trent Grisham for the second out of the inning. That looked to be either a slider or a knuckle curve down and in. It really looked like a knuckle curve, about 80 miles an hour. He swung over the top of that thing, and that's the second out of the inning. Now, here is Ben Rice, 0 for 1. Righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off first with 2 out. Here's the pitch. Knuckle curve bounced out in front of home plate. Blocked very well there by Herrera. The count is 1-0. Next pitch will be Andre's 50th in 2 2/3 innings of work. He catches his breath, gets back onto the rubber, definitely sits towards the first base side of the rubber, both from the stretch and windup. Runner leads off first with 2 out. It's a 1-0 count. He sets at the Birds. Steps off the rubber, so we wait a little longer for the 1-0 offering. Florida and I had a love-hate relationship. That's kind of my experience with Florida as well in many respects. Now, the 1-0 pitch. Hit down the right field line and slicing foul on the slider down. The count is 1-1. Oh, yeah, he just turned on that thing too quickly. And the back girl was not able to get the leather on that, so she had to go chase after it. Well, the ball girl, I should say. Now he comes set. The 1-1 offering. A 4-seam fastball well up and in and out of the zone. Having to dance out of the way of that one was Ben Rice, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. So far, Pallante has done a good job at avoiding hard contact. And that's what he's going to need to do. The 2-1 pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball down and in to Benjamin Rice, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coming set it, Birds is Pallante. Holding, he deals. A 4-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. 94 miles an hour to the right hand of Pallante. And the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So runner on first with 2 out. Bottom of the third inning, there is no score. 53 pitches so far for Pallante. Runner leads off first with 2 out. 3-2 count. From the stretch is Pallante. The pitch. Swinging, strike 3. Down, hacking goes Ben Rice for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, 1 left on. After 3 full innings of play, we are scoreless going to the top of the 4th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's get back to the chat. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of musical notes there in the chat at the moment. A person learns a lot from Para Paul. I could not be happier to know that, Philip. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, friend. Jeff Coleman with the $1 super. Thank you so much, Jeff. I really appreciate it. Your consistent generosity is beyond appreciated, to say the very least. Rush Dash, I know he's not here no more, but I want to thank Newt Bar for everything he did for the Cardinals organization. I raise my Red Bull tonight to Lars Nootbaar. I surely hope we see him in Cardinal white, gold, and red again. There's just something unnatural about him, seeing him in a Diamondbacks jersey. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Can you buy a run? Well, that's the business baseball teams are in, Jeff. They just hope they are earning more than the runs they have to pay for. All right. Yeah, Newt. You know, when he does... Oh, who do they play on Friday? G-Man? They play the Colorado Rockies. They're coming into Busch Stadium for a 3-game weekend set. We're back here for the top of the 4th inning. No score. Due up for the Redbirds. Herrera, Burleson, and Fermin. 2, 3, and 4 in the Redbird order. All of them are 0 for 1 against Will Warren so far. So, Ivan Herrera struts up to the box. That's the best way I can describe it. Oh, Cubs beat the Dodgers, did they? Yeah, that was a real fireworks show. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch from Warren. Strike. Sinker down Broadway. The count is 0-1. Ivan Herrera 0 for 1. It's a righty versus righty matchup. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 4th inning, no score. Warren looks into Wells. He comes motion. The 0-1. Fouled back behind home plate on the sinker upstairs. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. Walker is getting the night off due to knee inflammation. Ivan Herrera 0 for 1 with a strikeout, 239, 12 home runs, 46 RBIs in 113 games, a 728 OPS. That's why he was out last night. The 0-2. A curveball down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. The idea there is that you give him today off. You have the off day tomorrow, so you get an extra one in there, and then by Friday, they're couching it as a precautionary measure. Now, teams lie all the time about health, especially initially, and the Cardinals are very hush-hush about things. So take it with a grain of salt to be sure. I certainly do. Now, the 1-2 pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up by Jazz Chisholm on a hop to his left. He throws to first in time to get Herrera, who bounces out 4-3 for the first out here in the top of the 4th inning. Now, here is Alec Burleson. Struck out in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1. Next pitch is going to be Will Warren's 50th of the night. He's in the saddle. The first pitch hit down the right field line and fair and all the way into the corner. Rounding first, going to second is Alec Burleson. Here's the throw, and he is safe, sliding into second with a 1-out double to right for Alec Burleson. And the Cardinals have a runner on second with 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. So does Alec Burleson love hitting at Yankee Stadium, or does he love hitting at Yankee Stadium? Oh, boy. What can you say about this man? What can't you say about this man? That was nice. Now, here's Jose Fermin. He's hitting cleanup tonight. Righty-righty matchup. Runner on second with 1 out. The first pitch from Warren. Strike. Sinker down Broadway. The count is 0-1. That came in at 93 miles an hour. Burleson leads off second. It's an 0-1 count. 51 pitches so far for Will Warren. He's from the stretch. He deals. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Wouldn't that be nice, David? Back into the saddle is Fermin. Coming set above the belt is Will Warren. Now the 1-1 offering. A sinker well inside and out of the zone. 94 miles an hour out of the right hand of Will Warren. The count is 2-1. Will Warren is a very serviceable starter in Major League Baseball. He's not unhittable, but he can be very, very effective. Now the 2-1. A sweeper well down and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. Fair means back into the box. Runner leads off second. It's a 3-1 count. Burleson leads. From the stretch is Warren, the pitch. There's a fly ball out to right field. Going back a couple of steps is Spencer Jones in front of the track. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Bluff advancing there is Alec Burleson at second. He stays right there. And now there's a runner on second with 2 out here in the top of the 4th. So far, this is definitely the pitchers having all their own way. Now, here's the lefty Nate Church. Reached on a leadoff single in his last at-bat. Got erased on the double play from Blaze Jordan. Runner leads off second, the first pitch. A 4-seam fastball low. The count is 1-0. Do I see him calling up anyone? Good question. Nate Church, 1 for 1 with a single, 235, 9 home runs, 35 RBIs in 95 games, a 649 OPS. It's a righty versus lefty matchup. Runner leads off second with 2 out. And the 1-0 offering. A changeup bounced out in front of home plate. Very nice pick there by Austin Wells behind the dish. The count is 2-0. I think the obvious answer to that would probably be Joshua Baez, just because there's not a logjam out there, and he's had such a ridiculous year down in AAA. You know, at some point you got to see what you got. You know, you can't let him overcook in the oven. He sets the 2-0. Strike Uncle Charlie on the outer third at the knees. The count is 2-1. And that's certainly the player I'd be most interested to see that's near Major League ready. And I certainly am not alone in that, I know. Warren sets above the belt. He's from the stretch. The 2-1 pitch. Hit to the right side, picked up on Jazz Chisholm on the ground to his left. He throws to first in time to get Nate Church for the final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, 1 left on. After 3.5 innings of play, it is scoreless going to the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. Scoreless going bottom of 4. I'll be right back. Hello, everybody. I just had to get some paper towel. The Red Bull I had finished off got knocked over. There's only a little bit of it left. It didn't get on anything, but I didn't want it just sitting there. I'm particular about my workplace, to say the very least. 2 up for the Bombers in the bottom of the 4th inning. Luis Garcia Jr., Helio Ramos, and Spencer Jones. So 3, 4, and 5 in the Yankee order. I heard Baez isn't being called up until late August, so he doesn't lose his rookie eligibility for next year. Yeah, I heard that on that on one of the St. Louis Cardinals podcasts. Andrew something. He does a nice job. Yeah, you have to... It makes sense why they'd want to do that. And if you're the Cardinals right now, that's probably something you're going to do. It's like 174... Not 174. They only play 162. Most of the year... You know, you have to play so many games to be considered a rookie. And service time and all that weird stuff. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the 4th inning. Back on out there is Pallante. 3 shutout innings so far. Righty-lefty matchup here against Luis Garcia Jr. The first pitch. A 4-seam fastball away, and the count is 1-0. Luis Garcia Jr. is currently 0 for 1. 55 pitches so far for Andre Pallante. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 4th inning. There is no score. Looking in is Pallante. He winds the 1-0. Hit right up back towards the middle. Charging in is Witherell to the right of second. He throws to first, and he gets him by half a step at first for the first out of the inning. J.J. Witherell out at short there tonight, filling in for Mason Wynn, who's getting the night off. He charges in. He comes to the right of second base from the home plate perspective, manages to pick it up on a couple of very short hops, throw across his body with his momentum going the other way, and just gets Luis Garcia Jr. there for the first out of the inning. How many Red Bulls do I have? I have to think about that. Now here is Helio Ramos, who's 1 for 1 with a double. Now the first pitch. Strike, slider on the outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. It's a righty-righty matchup. Helio Ramos hitting .263 with 9 home runs, 34 RBIs in 75 games, a .725 OPS. Winds Pallante, and he deals. A knuckle curve down and away and slightly over the lefty batter's box. The count is 1-1. I think I have like 4 or 5 in my cash, just in case it's a bit unusually long night. I never really drink more than 2. He winds the 1-1 pitch. Strike, sinker down and in. Challenge immediately there by Helio Ramos. So ABS challenge incoming on the part of the Yankees here. It's called a strike. Let's see the ABS. And it misses low, and the challenge is successful. The call is overturned from a strike to a ball, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Pallante is back onto the bump, looking into Ivan Barrera behind the dish, who sets up inside. The 2-1. Hit to the right side. Picked up and stabbed on a line by Prieto for the second out of the inning. The old Adam ball right at Prieto. Cesar doing his thing there at second tonight for the second out of the inning. Now here comes Spencer Jones, the giant left-hander who's out and right tonight. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. .219, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs, a .699 OPS. Righty-lefty matchup. Now the first pitch from Pallante, hit to the left side, picked up there on a hop by Blaze Jordan, well wide of third. He throws to first in time for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 4 full innings of play, there is no score here in the rubber match between the Redbirds and Bombers. I'm Paul D., and if you're enjoying my Call of Redbird action here tonight on Game Mike, you haven't done so already, but you feel I've earned it, please do leave a like. That little like button on your screen there does more good than you can possibly imagine. Not simply for this channel, but the YouTube algorithm, with a sufficient amount of likes, pushes it out there to Cardinal fans who are having trouble following this team every day, for reasons that we are all very familiar with at this point. And you'll have my eternal gratitude, no doubt. And if you like what you see in here and you're not already subscribed, well, I mean, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe! We have a lot of fun here. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Scoreless going top of 5. Due up for the Redbirds in the top of the 5th inning. Blaze Jordan, Brian Torres, and Jimmy Crooks. 7, 8, and 9 in the Redbird order. Alrighty, let's see here. Good evening, chat. We're on the road to 1,300 subs. Right now, we are less than 40 subs away, so please smash that like button. Listen to Justin Beasley. He knows what he's talking about. Great job, Cardinals. Yeah, very good stuff. Harold, solid indeed. We get 3 strikeouts in a row, we would use a train whistle. Interesting thought. Alrighty. David Hodge getting me to reveal all my Red Bull secrets on camera. Harold Houseman. Bombers Game Mike with Big Paul D is where it's at. Thank you, Harold. Jeff Coleman, like from your cell phone or mobile devices, y'all. Chuck Gaming, good to see you, Chuck. Hey, Paul, how do you feel about our playoff chances? And the first pitch, hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. So a leadoff single to right off the bat of Blaze Jordan just gets past the reach there of Jazz Chisholm Jr., and the Cardinals have a runner on first with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. All right, Chuck. They're not great. It's not impossible. They're certainly still in it, but they got a long road to hoe to that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. John Will, base hit, walk, base hit. Let's get some runs. Now the first pitch, hit to the right side, picked up there by Jazz Chisholm. He throws the second one on to first, not in time. So Brian Torres, only 2 pitches thrown so far this inning, reaches on the fielder's choice. Blaze Jordan is erased with the force at second. And the Cardinals have a runner on first with 1 out. And here's tonight's DH, Jimmy Crooks. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Jordan Walker is getting the night off due to knee inflammation. He should be back on Friday, according to the Cardinals. Righty-lefty matchup. Crooks 0 for 1. He throws up to first. Back in time with the head first slide is Brian Torres. Yeah, I actually did answer that earlier, David, but he's out with knee inflammation. They think he'll be back on Friday against Colorado at Busch. Runner leads off first. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch to Crooks. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Picked up by Spencer Jones on a hop. And the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 1 out following the 1-out single to right off the bat of Jimmy Crooks. Here in the top of the 5th. Now here is Cesar Prieto, the left-hand hitter. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Make them pitch indeed. 62 pitches so far for Will Warren in 4 1/3 inning. He sets at the belt. The first pitch to Prieto. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Well, that's a good question. Pages, Velasquez, and Walker. And Walker's probably not going to be used. So basically, Pages and Velasquez. The 1-0. Bats out in front of home plate. A very nice backhand pickup there by Austin Wells. The count is 2-0. On deck is the NL rookie sensation, J.J. Weatherall. Runners on first and second with 1 out. It's a 2-0 count. Looking in is Warren, who steps off the bump. And Austin Wells, in fact, goes out there to talk with Will Warren, so they're having a little bit of a powwow out on the mound. Bunt them over. Yeah, you know what? That actually would that would be interesting. I mean, Cesar Prieto obviously doesn't have much major league experience, so putting down a nice bunt might not be a bad idea with J.J. Weatherall on deck. Delta leader. Good evening, Paul and Card fam. Let's go Cards. Great to see you, Delta. All right, so the power is broken up out on the mound. A pretty good crowd tonight at Yankee Stadium. Now he comes, set does Warren. Holding, and the 2-0. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 2-1. Couldn't tell if he fouled it back initially. He gets back into the saddle. Coming set is Warren. He sets above the belt. The 2-1 offering. A four-seam fastball down and away and clear out of the zone. The count is 3-1 strike. Prieto, who's 0 for 1 tonight. Runners lead off first and second. Warren sets above the belt. The 3-1. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball down Broadway, and the count is full. 3 strikes. That was his pitch to hit, and Cesar Prieto knows it. All right, he gets back into the saddle. Runners lead off first and second. Looking in is Warren, who sets above the belt. The pitch. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball in. It's ruled a ball, but there's an ABS challenge here on the part of the Yankees and Austin Wells. I think it missed. Oh, no, it didn't. It's strike 3 looking. Down in the observatory goes Prieto. It just clipped the inside corner for the second out of the inning. Oh, I thought that thing clearly missed. That's a good call by Austin Wells there. Now, here comes J.J. Weatherall. He's 0 for 1. Last time he got robbed on an incredible play there by George Lombard Jr. on a ball right up the middle. Stepping off the rubber is Will Warren. He is getting dirt from out in between his cleats. 68 pitches tonight. Now, coming set is Warren. The first pitch to Weatherall. Strike, four-seam fastball outside quarter thigh high. The count is 0-1. The Cardinals are wearing their traditional road gray tops and bottoms with the red caps and helmets with the white interlocking STL on the front. The 0-1 pitch. A sinker well down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. And, of course, the Yankees are wearing their home pinstripes with the navy blue interlocking NY on the left pectoral, navy ball caps, and the white interlocking NY emblazoned on the front. Two classic looks facing off against each other tonight. Here's the pitch. Hit out there into center field. Going back is Trent Grisham. He's in front of the track. He's looking up, and it's off the base of the wall in center field. He plays the carom. He throws it on in. Both runners will score, and that'll be an RBI double off the bat of J.J. Weatherall, and that will give the Redbirds a 2-0 lead on the two-out double to center field over the head of Trent Grisham. And they take themselves a 2-0 lead here in the top of the fifth inning. And he got a lot of that at first. He hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. He hits it almost anywhere else at Yankee Stadium. That's a 3-run home run. He hit it just to the left of the 408 side in dead center. And there was no way Trent Grisham or any other center fielder was catching up to that regardless. Not even Jim Edmonds could have caught up with that one. Now the first pitch to Herrera. A four-seam fastball away, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Jeff Coleman with the $1 super. Thank you, Jeff. And I thank the Cardinals for their role in that as well. It's very much appreciated. Strikeout and a ground out for Herrera tonight. He's 0 for 2. Righty matchup. It's a 1-0 count. Runner on second with 2 out. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball away, clear out of the zone. In fact, over the lefty batter's box. The count is 2-0. .73 pitches for Will Warren. The Cardinals strike first. JJ with a bat for all seasons. Weatherall, the 2-0. A four-seam fastball away and out of the zone. The count is 3 balls and no strikes. On deck is Alec Burleson. Doubled in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. Strikeout in his first at-bat, double in his last. JJ leads off second with 2 outs. A 3-0 count to Herrera. Now the 3-0 offering. Strike, four-seam fastball, whispers over the black to the outside corner above the knees. The count is 3-1. The K-Mike wave going. The wave. The wave. Oh, the wave. Now the 3-1. Hit out there into center field. Going back is Trent Grisham. It's over his head into center field, and it hops over the wall for a ground rule double. Scoring from second is J.J. Weatherall, and that will give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead on the 2-out RBI ground rule double to center off the bat of Ivan Herrera. Ivan the Terrible doing his thing, and the Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. That seemed to be a sinker. It was down Broadway, slightly below the knees. It's actually quite impressive that Herrera was able to get to that thing. It hopped right into the netting right above Monument Park in center field. If you've been to Yankee Stadium or you plan on going, go to Monument Park. Jeff with a $1 super. Buying runs indeed, or at least very least rewarding me with them. Thank you, Jeff. So on second base is Ivan Herrera having a little chat there with Blue down at second. Thank you, David. I shall take you up on that suggestion. And, of course, here comes Alec Burleson. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Runner on second following the ground rule double with the RBI off Herrera. And the first pitch. A changeup well up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. righty-lefty matchup. Leading off second is Herrera. Coming set above the belt is Will Warren. The 1-0 pitch. Chop foul down the first baseline and out of play on the curveball, down and away. The count is 1-1. We shall see, folks. We shall see. Now, looking in is Will Warren. He sets above the belt. Runner leads off second with 2 out. The 1-1 offering. Swinging strike on the sinker, down and away, and the count is 1-2 strikes. 1-2. Well, thank you so much, David. Next pitch is going to be Will Warren's 80th. He comes set. He deals. Hit foul down the left field line and out of play on the changeup, down and away, and the count remains 1-2 strikes. So a 3-spot here so far for the Redbirds in the top of the 5th inning. Finally broke their scoreless spell dating back to last night. A solid 13-plus innings of that crap. Oh. Now he comes set, does Warren. And the 1-2. A curveball bounced out in front of home plate, blocked very well there with the chest protector by Austin Wells. The count is even at 2-2 strikes. Oh, you want to hear the story on the ball again, John? Yeah, I can do that at some point. Not during the action, but I can definitely do that at some point. Just remind me again, like at an advantageous time. And I'm happy to do that. It'll be the more... Now, here's the pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up on the ground by Jazz Chipman at second. He throws to first in time to get Burleson for the 3rd and final out of the inning. However, the Cardinals put up a 3-spot in the top of the 5th inning. They have a 3-0 lead going to bottom of 5. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's get back to the chat. Tennessee Bigfoot. What makes the card so attractive that players don't want to leave? That is a good question. Now, you can only speculate. I think it's a number of things. I think the Cardinals are just generally, historically, a very well-run organization. The fans are very good to them. You know, they're high profile, but you don't have 36 reporters at your, clubhouse stall locker grilling you every night. And it's a very classy fan base. We're good to our own. We tend to be, we'll get on them, but generally you don't boo them. And I guess they just dig it here, living in the St. Louis area, reasonable cost of living, all that kind of stuff. Not that they have to worry about that. Do I think the Yankees will win? I don't know, Jesus lives. I don't know. I will say that clairvoyance is a very rare gift indeed, and many times I am very glad not to possess it. But essentially, David Hodge, as far as the ball goes, July 2004, batting practice, Yankee Stadium, late summer day, about 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. Tino Martinez playing on a 1-year deal with Tampa Bay. Hit it the other way. I was on top of the left field wall above the cannon side, about a dozen feet left of the left field pole. Hits it up the air, goes above the crown of the stadium, comes through that late summer day haze in New York City, and then pop right into my glove. That's the Reader's Digest version. Now here's Jazz Chisholm, the first pitch. Four-seam fastball upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Doge Bowl. I'll read that in a moment. Pallante looks in and winds. The 1-0 offering to Chisholm. Strike, four-seam fastball outside corner. The count is 1-1. Hey, Paul and all, have any thoughts regarding the new Women's Pro Baseball League? Boston Hunters, New York Heights, Los Angeles Queens, San Francisco Fireballs. I'm not familiar with it. Jazz is 0 for 1. He shows bunt, and he bunts it foul. And the count is 1-2. That was on a knuckle curve. I don't know enough about it, but I'm certainly in favor of it. I think that's a wonderful thing. America has a very rich history when it comes to women's baseball. Now Pallante sets and winds the 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball well upstairs, nowhere near the zone. The count's 2-2. I live in Rockford, Illinois, home of the famous Rockford Peaches. Yeah, I was just thinking about them, not just because of the movie. The 2-2 pitch. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is full. 3-2 to Jazz Chisholm, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Thank you, Derek. Now the 3-2 pitch. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball, down and in off the bat of Jazz Chisholm. The count remains 3-2. So nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth inning, 3-0 Cardinals. Put up a 3-spot in the top of the fifth inning out for some timely 2-out hitting by J.J. Witherell and Herrera. He winds, and the 3-2 pitch. Foul tipped on the four-seam fastball up and away. It actually hit off his foot. The count is 3-2. Jazz Chisholm is a fantastically interesting player because he can be very excited. He can be very exciting, do some amazing stuff on the field. And then there are other times when you're just like, what are you thinking, man? What's going on here? And he looks a little lost. He is a chimera in many ways, but I've always liked him, and I'm glad they really acquired him a few years back from Miami. Nobody on, nobody out. 3-2 count. The 3-2 from Pallante. Hit to the right side. Picked up by Witherell to his right. Throws across his body in time. Check that. Prieto to his left for the first out of the inning. So used to Witherell out there at second. It was Cesar Prieto who made the play. Hit right into that shift there, did Jazz Chisholm. And a lot of credit there to Prieto. He had to go far to his right, throw across his body with his momentum going the other way for the first out of the inning. Here's Ryan McMahon. He's 0 for 1. It's a righty-lefty matchup. He winds the first pitch from Pallante. Strike, four-seam fastball outside corner below the belt. The count is 0-1. They came in at 96 miles an hour out of the right-handed Pallante. Ryan McMahon 0 for 1 with a ground out. The name I can't possibly forget. He winds the 0-1 pitch. A splitter down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Paul, the women played ball in World War II. Would that be cool? Well, yeah. In fact, they played clear beyond that. That league existed for about a decade. Now, coming winds Pallante, the 1-1 McMahon. Four-seam fastball clear inside, and the count is 2-1. Yeah, I think they went to almost the mid-50s there, David. They had a reunion about 40 years later. People showed up. It was in Chicago. Now, the 2-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. Oh, that's interesting, John. So your napping is good luck. Now, the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball away, so Ryan McMahon works out a one-out walk here in the bottom of the fifth. The Bombers have a runner on first. Yes, indeed, Jeremiah. Now, here comes the Rook, George Lombard Jr., in his third Major League game. 0 for 1 with a ground out to short to J.J. Witherell. Runner on first. From the stretches, Pallante. He sets at the Birds. The first pitch to Lombard Jr. Strike. Slider on the outer third. Thigh high. The count is 0-1. We already know that he can go long. He did for his first Major League hit back on Monday night. 75 pitches so far for Andre Pallante. In 4 1/3. He sets the 0-1. Swinging strike on the sinker down and in, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, that one happened pretty quick, Harold, on Monday night, no question. Back into the saddle is George Lombard Jr., 21-year-old right-hand hitting shortstop. Righty-righty matchup, runner on first with 1 out. McMahon leads off first. Coming set is Pallante. And the 0-2. A knuckle curve away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Well, yeah, Philip. Wild pitch can always happen. And with the knuckle curve, it's kind of a field pitch. He doesn't always have it. He sets at the Birds. He deals. Hit on up the middle into center field and in for a one-out base hit. Picked up out there by Nate Church. And the Yankees have runners on first and second following the one-out single to center field by George Lombard Jr. here in the bottom of the fifth inning. So the Yankees are trying to rally here. That looked to be a slider that was absolutely middle. One thing is for sure, this kid so far seems to be able to hit major league pitching. We'll see what happens after the first time through the order. Here's Austin Wells, the 9-hitting catcher. Righty-lefty matchup. Runners lead off first and second with one out. Cummings sets Pallante, the first pitch. A four-seam fastball down and in, out of the zone, 96 miles an hour. The count's 1-0. Austin Wells is 1 for 1 with a single tonight. I'm sure he's looser now that he knows he hasn't lost his job. Cummins set at the Birds. He deals. Strike, four-seam fastball outside quarter above the knees. The count is 1-1. Honestly, Philip, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen a wild pitch this inning. Cummins set is Pallante. The 1-1 pitch. Chopped up the middle, picked up there by Pallante, who throws the second one. On to first, a double play. A 1-6-3 double play to end the inning. So, no runs, one hit, one walk, one left on. After 5 full innings of play, it is 3-0 Cardinals going to the top of the 6th inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this evening, you haven't already done so, and you feel I've earned it, please leave a like. Doing wonderful for the channel. That little like button on your screen there, whether it's your mobile device, your desktop, somehow on your TV, does a world of good that I can't even begin to describe with the time I have available to me. And you have my eternal gratitude. And if you like what you see and hear and you're new here, or you've been here multiple times, you're not already subscribed, well, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, 3-0 Cardinals going top of 6. Yeah, that thing was a one-hopper back to Pallante, just turned around, threw a bullet to Weatherholt, cover in second, and then the relay throw to first, end of the inning. I do think, as I recall, DeJong definitely had some issues with breaking balls. Jeff Colvin, like from your cell phone or mobile device. Thank you, Jeff. So, 3-0 Cardinals going top of 6. Due up for the Redbirds, Fermin, Church, and Jordan. So 4, 5, and 6 in the Redbird order. Fermin is 0 for 2. Church is 1 for 2. And Blaze Jordan is also 1 for 2. He singled to right in his last at-bat. Of course, I'd like to thank you all so much for spending part of your Wednesday evening here with me on Game Mike. No place I'd rather be, no team I'd rather be calling for, nothing else I'd rather be doing. That's no platitude, that is the absolute truth. We're back for the top of the 6th inning. It's 3-0 Cardinals here in the rubber match. Fermin, Church, and Jordan, and the first pitch. A sweeper strike on the outside quarter, knee high. The count is 0-1. It's a righty-righty matchup with Will Warren against Jose Fermin, who's 0 for 2. 3-0 Cardinals, top of 6. He winds the 0-1. Strike, curveball on the inner third at the knees. The count is 0-2. Chris Carpenter was, by definition, like one of the most clutch pitchers of all time. The 0-2 pitch. A sweeper well away and over the lefty batter's box. The count is 1-2. His thing was injuries. But when it counted, if you're out there for a Game 7 or a Game 5 or some big game, there's nobody else you'd rather have out there. Now, the 1-2 offering. A sweeper away and over the lefty batter's box, rolls all the way back behind home plate. Picked up out there by the bat boy. The count is 2-2. I think this is a theory that we have to test, John Wilms. A ground out and a foul out to Fairmean. Now the 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball out to left field. Going back a few steps is Ramos. Camped underneath it. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Yes, he was, Richard Talley. Good to see you. Game 5, 2011, NLDS against the Phillies, 1-0 lead, out-dueling Roy Halladay. That was something. Now here is Nate Church. It's a righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch. Foul tipped and rolls behind home plate on the curveball low. The count is 0-1. Nate Church, 1 for 2, a single and a ground out tonight. Nobody on with 1 out. And the 0-1. Curveball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. I'm feeling all right, Richard. Happy to be here. No question about that. 89 pitches for Warren. This next one will indeed be his 90th. Now the 1-1. Fouled back behind home plate on the four-seam fastball in, and the count is 1-2. On deck is Blaze Jordan, singled in his last at-bat to right. Back into the saddle is Nate Church. Back onto the bump is Warren. He comes wide, the 1-2. Hit out there into right field, going back, and it is off the base of the wall in right. Picked up there by Spencer Jones. He throws in, and it's a long single off the bat of Nate Church. He hit it too hard. Spencer Jones played it too well. The carom literally went right to him, plus the short porch, and a very long single off the base of the wall in the short porch right at Yankee Stadium. And Nate Church has a 1-out single, and the Cardinals have a runner on first with 1 out. Yeah, it was about halfway up the Bank of America sign on the right field wall. And here comes Blaze Jordan, and it looks like we have ourselves a pitching change. And they're going to the righty Castro. We saw him on Monday night, and it's starting to rain at Yankee Stadium, folks. Luckily, this is an official game. We have played 5 full, and the Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. So they're going to the righty Castro. Give you his numbers in a moment. But no, Nate Church, he hit that thing far too hard. We'll see what happens, Voronor. We'll see what happens. Okay. Numbers on Castro. 27-year-old right-hander. Saw him the other night. 3 games this year, a 0-0 record, a 2.08 ERA, and 4 1/3 innings pitched. 6 strikeouts in that span, and a whip of 0.92 for Kervin Castro. Do I change jersey Cardinals when the Cardinals hit and Yankees vice versa? Well, not in games, certainly, Richard. I shuffle things out. Usually I wear gray when they're on the road, or if it's a Saturday on the road, I'll wear the blue, and the white when they're at home. I have a few that I shuffle in there. Then I have the alternate Saturday when they get home. The nice cream one with St. Louis in the chest. That's the alternate to the powder blue. It's very nice to have a gig where wearing the jerseys requisite. All right, looks like we're back in the action here. Colorado this weekend, then 3 against Philadelphia at home starting on Monday night. Then they head up to Wrigley Field a week from this Friday. Tomorrow is the off day. First off day in 20 games. Now the first pitch to Blaze Jordan from Castro. Strike, 4-seam fastball outside corner. The count is 0-1. It's a righty-righty matchup. Gave you the numbers on Kervin Castro a moment ago. Nate Church is at first following his long 1-out single to right. Coming sets Castro, the 0-1. Strike, 4-seam fastball outer third at the knees. The count is 0-2. This is the pitching Castro who made it The other one became dictator of Cuba. Tried out for the Washington Senators. They didn't think he had a big league arm. The 0-2 fouled straight back on the sinker upstairs. The count is 0-2. Just a little bit there. Little something, little historical note with a Castro on the mound. Very good, Tay Jackson. Now he comes set. He throws over to first. Back in time is Nate Church with the head first slide. Applying the tag there is Luis Garcia Jr., and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes to Blaze Jordan. He's 1 for 2. Runner on first is still Will Warren's responsibility. It's only 1 out. Castro comes set. The 0-2. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Well, the reason they did it, one for Burleson, he's not particularly great against lefties. Weathers is. He's as a left-hander. And here's the pitch. Hit foul down the right field line and out of play. And Jordan Walker was sat due to right knee inflammation, the same reason he's not in the lineup tonight. They're hoping to have him back by Friday. I mean, it's not great, but Burleson's numbers against lefties aren't great, and Ryan Weathers is quite effective against lefties. So that's at least the thinking. He comes set. The 1-2. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-2. That is precisely what I'm saying, Jeremiah. Now Castro sets. The 2-2. Hit down the right field line and out of play and into the stands on the four-seam fastball away. The count remains 2-2. No, Jeremiah, that is a bit of alternate history that I can't even begin to comprehend. Castro sets above the belt. The 2-2 pitch. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the cutter up. The count remains 2-2. It's different from when I grew up too, Richard Talley, no doubt. Here's the pitch. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the sinker in. The count remains 2-2. So Blaze Jordan, to his credit, has put together a 9 and now soon to be 10 pitch at bat here against Keravim Castro. Runner on first with 1 out. Top of the 6th, 3-0 Redbirds. Castro sets, Castro deals. Swinging strike 3 on the cheddar there by Castro, and that is the second out of the inning. Going down hacking is Blaze Jordan. Oh, you may very well be right, Justin. You may very well be right. John Quincy Adams, in some ways, actually kind of predicted that might happen. Now the first pitch to Torres. Hit foul behind home plate on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count is 0-1. It is a righty versus lefty matchup with a runner on first and 2 out. Top of the 6th inning, 3-0 Redbirds. Brian Torres is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fielder's choice. Castro comes set. The 0-1. Curveball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Yeah. Castro sets above the belt. The 1-2. The 1-1. Swinging strike on the sinker away. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Definitely 1-2. Runner on first with 2 out. Top of the 6th inning. 3-0 Redbirds. It's definitely spitting at the ballpark. The 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away. And the count is 2-2. Looking in is Castro. Leading off first is Church. Coming set above the belt is Castro. The 2-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball well down and in. And the count is 3-2. Welcome back, Rush Dash. I hope you had a good dinner. What'd you have? I really appreciate that, Richard. That means the world to me. Now the 3-2. There goes the runner. And ball 4 on the sinker well upstairs. So Brian Torres works a 2-out walk. And the Cardinals have runners on first and second with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. They have a 3-0 lead after putting up a 3 spot in the top of the 5th inning. No, Richard, that really does mean the world to me. And something I often think about, and there is a meeting out on the mound between Castro and the Yankees pitching coach. When you guys compliment me, something I always try to keep in mind is that essentially everyone here comes from a lineage of the Cardinals having some of the best broadcasters that ever called a game. And knowing that, when you do compliment me, is something that I never forget, and I also don't let get too much to me, to be sure. But I really do appreciate it, and it means more than you can know. Here is Jimmy Crooks, the DH, a strikeout, and a single to right. He is 1 for 2. Do I think MLB would have a team there? That's a good question, Roger. Come in set. And the first pitch to Jimmy Crooks. A curveball upstairs, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Maybe, but it would have taken a while because of all the casinos in Havana. Now, coming set is Castro, the 1-0 pitch. Hit out there into right field, going back, looking up, and it is caught in front of the wall by Spencer Jones for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So, no runs and 2 left on. After 5.5 innings of play, it is 3-0 Redbirds going to the bottom of the 6th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go back to that chat. Missed it by that much indeed, Voronor. I would definitely say that, Roger, maybe, given the enthusiasm for baseball in Cuba, certainly possible. I mean, goodness, they're just a baseball factory. I mean, how many greats from Cuba have we had? Thank you, Harold. Thank you so much. It really does mean a lot to me. You know, I do everything I can to keep improving the experience, improving my call of the game. And it's taken time. It definitely has. I'll look back on older streams that I did, and I'll think to myself, man, I'm really glad I improved, X, Y, or Z. Because it's important. And I want to give everyone here the best experience possible. And I'm glad that I've been able to do that so far. And I couldn't have done it with all of you, so I thank you very much. Yeah, that may be so, Jeremiah. Yeah, okay, cool. We're on the same page, Roger. So we await the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up for the Bombers is Trent Grisham, Ben Rice, and Luis Garcia Jr. 1, 2, and 3 in the Yankee order. Grisham is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Rice is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And Luis Garcia Jr. is simply 0 for 2. We're back here for the bottom of the 6th inning. Pallante out there for his 6th frame. At least he should be. He is, and it is pouring there at the stadium now. The first pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball inside quarter thigh high to Grisham. The count is 0-1. I mean, it's monsoon there at the moment. People are filing out of the stands. I don't think this game can continue much longer this way. The 0-1. A 4-seam fastball downstairs. The count is 1-1. I do not see... I can tell you what I think is happening here. They have to give the Yankees this half inning, and if they don't tie up the game, I think they might call it. That hasn't happened. Don't say that it has, because it hasn't. I'm just projecting. Righty-lefty matchup. The 1-1 pitch to Grisham. A 4-seam fastball well downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. I mean, it is absolutely pouring there at the moment. Andre Pallante, I'm sure, is having trouble getting a good grip on the ball. That's why those last 2 pitches were low. Grounds crew is definitely standing by there at Yankee Stadium. They're just waiting for the word. 84 pitches for Pallante. He winds the 2-1. Swinging strike over the slider, down and in. The count is 2-2. Herrera just immediately dispensed with that ball because it was already soaked. They literally have to use a ball for every bit of the at-bat. Let's see here. Trent Grisham is walking off slowly. He's going to try and dry off his bat on the handle specifically so he can actually hold on to the thing. That's the kind of weather we have there at Yankee Stadium at the moment. They will face Colorado starting Friday night in St. Louis, my friend. Back into the box is Grisham. It's a 2-2 count. Nobody on, nobody out. 3-0 Cardinals, bottom of 6. Winding is Pallante, the 2-2. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Burleson at first. Takes it to the bag himself for the first out of the inning. So Trent Grisham bounces out 3 for the first out here at the bottom of the 6. Man, the rain is intense. Intense. It's like a monsoon at the big ballpark in the Bronx. First Yankee game I ever went to at Yankee Stadium, not to be confused with my first Yankee game, which came in 1995 in early July at the old ballpark in Arlington down in Texas. They were facing Kansas City, and it started out with a 3-hour rain delay. Now the first pitch to Ben Rice. A knuckle curve inside, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. So yeah, I sat through a 3-hour rain delay in 1997. For my first Yankee game at Yankee Stadium. Now, the 1-0 pitch. A knuckle curve down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Ben Rice, a pop-out and a strikeout swinging. 3-0 Cardinals, bottom of 6. Pallante gets back onto the bump. He comes motion, the 2-0. Hit down the left field line and slicing foul. A very nice pick there by the ball girl down the left field line on the fly. Getting a little hand there from the crowd at Yankee Stadium. The count is 2-1. Yeah, she's all smiles right now, and who could blame her? That was a heck of a play. Next pitch is Pallante's 90th. It's still coming down. Now the 2-1 to Rice. Check swing on the four-seam fastball up and in. Did he go around? No, says Blue down the third baseline, and the count is 3-1. It is a righty versus lefty matchup. Nobody on with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning, 3-0 Cardinals. The rain has eased just a little bit. Pallante, he comes motion. The 3-1 pitch. And it's just away there. And it looks to be ball 4. Or at least initially. Let's see here. And the Cardinals challenge it with an ABS challenge, and in fact, it is a strike. So the called ball is overturned. Just clipped that outside corner with about a quarter of the ball, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Man, Pallante is drenched out there. Oh my goodness, folks. Clay Healy, I appreciate your channel. I live in Utah, so most Cardinal games are out of network. So I listen to your channel when I can't watch a game, so thank you. You got it, Clay. The 3-2. Knuckle curve down and in for ball 4, so Ben Rice works a 1-out walk here at the bottom of the 6th. Oh, boy. You can't actually help but feel for the Cardinals that are actually out on the field right now. I mean, they're taking nature's shower. And Ben Rice expediently goes out to first. Here's Luis Garcia Jr. He's 0 for 2. He reached on an E3 back in the first. The first pitch. Strike. 4-seam fastball down and in. The count is 0-1. It's a righty versus lefty matchup against the lefty Luis Garcia Jr. 93 pitches here for Andre Pallante. Runner on first with 1 out. He looks into Herrera and sets at the Birds. Now the 0-1. Bounce out of home plate. Gets away there from Herrera. Going down to second is Ben Rice. He throws it down to second. It goes into center field. Ben Rice goes down to third. Picked up there by Nate Church. And he will go from first to third on the wild pitch and the throwing error by Ivan Herrera to second. And the Yankees have a runner on third with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, it's a 1-1 count. God, that was like calling a horse race. But right now, the sloppiness due to the, just how drenched everything is, I guess you can't be surprised. So Ben Rice leads off third with 1 out. It's a 1-1 count here to Luis Garcia Jr. Pallante comes set at the Birds. Now the 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike, and the four-seam fastball up and in. The count is 1-2. It's like a Three Stooges act. He comes set of the Birds. Time is requested by Ivan Herrera, so Pallante steps off the bump. Luis Garcia steps out of the box. Clearly they couldn't get on the same page on that one. Pallante comes set. Now the 1-2. A knuckle curve bounced out in front of home plate, blocked very well there by the chest protector on the body of Ivan Herrera. It is ruled a ball. The count is 2-2. Luis Garcia Jr. hitting .337 this season with runners in scoring position. 5 home runs, 49 RBIs, 12 extra base hits. That's the reason they traded for him. Coming sets Pallante, the 2-2. A knuckle curve down and away and out of the zone. The count is 3-2. You might be right, Jeremy. You might be right. Yeah, I agree, Dwayne. It has a lot to do with the fact everything's soaked. He comes set. Now the 3-2 pitch. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball in. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Exactly, Voronor. Pallante sets at the Birds. Rice leads off third with 1 out. He deals to Garcia Jr. Just gets a piece of that slider down and away, spoiling it off, rolls over towards the Cardinal dugout. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Next pitch is Pallante's 100th of the night. Will he turn into a pumpkin? We shall see. He sets at the Birds. The 3-2. Foul tipped on the four-seam fastball down and in. Staying alive there is Luis Garcia Jr. The count remains 3-2. Man. Next pitch is to be the 9th of this at-bat. Remember, the grounds crew actually has to go out to home plate. Actually, correction. That's a member of the training staff having a word with Ivan Herrera behind the dish. So 100 pitches here for Andre Pallante. You don't see many Cardinal starters getting to the 3 digits nowadays. I think that is perfectly reasonable. Voronor. He comes set at the Birds. The 3-2. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play, and the slider down and in. The count remains 3-2. Oh, they're going to need something stronger than Red Bull, Justin. They got a lot of work ahead of them. Looking in is Pallante. He comes set. And he deals. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play. On the four-seam fastball in. Was it 11 or 12 pitches in this at-bat now? Luis Garcia Jr. is not making this easy. Rain looks like it's let up just a little bit. Everyone's soaked, of course. Pallante comes set. Now the 3-2. Ball 4 on the four-seam fastball well upstairs, so Luis Garcia Jr. works a one-out walk. Now the Bombers have runners at the corners with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. I have not seen anybody warming up in the Cardinals' pen, but they're not always that great in making you aware of it in the broadcast. I mean, they might mention it in the broadcast, but I don't have any of the audio, yeah, for obvious reasons. Yeah, Harold. I mean, he's over 100 pitches now. These guys very seldom go over that, especially under Ollie Marmol. And here comes Ollie Marmol. He's going to the mound. And let's see who he goes to here, because they haven't shown the bullpen at all. I don't know if he's just going out there to talk to Pallante. He hasn't signaled who he wants yet, at least to my knowledge. He often does. But he takes the baseball, so we have ourselves a pitching change. 103 pitches for Pallante. Runners on first and third, still very much his responsibility. But he comes out with one out in the bottom of the sixth and a shutout. Can't complain about that. Once I know who he's being subbed for, I'll let you know. So, pitching change time, folks. He's going to George Soriano. George Soriano, the 27-year-old right-hander in 51 games this year, is 4-3 with a 3.62 ERA, 49 and 2/3 innings pitched with 48 strikeouts, a whip of 1.17 for George Soriano. He's going to come in to face the righty Helio Ramos with runners at the corners and one out. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning, it's a 3-0 Cardinal lead. Yeah, I could probably live with him too, as long as he keeps the ball in the ballpark. Which is really the game at the moment, right? So we await the end of this pitching change. Man, these guys are getting soaked out there. Oh, boy. What can I say? I've been there at Yankee Stadium, both old and new. Well, new. It's an experience. In fact, the first Cardinal game I went to at Busch Stadium rained out in the fourth inning. They had to replay it. That was a monsoon. They tried waiting it out, and they're like, no, this ain't happening tonight. See you all another time. I still had a great time, though. Okay, George Soriano's in the game. I gave you his numbers a moment ago. He's going to face Helio Ramos, who is 1-for-2 tonight. He doubled earlier. 3-0 Cardinals. Runners at the corners with one out. On the bump, our good friend George Soriano. Gave you his numbers a moment ago. 38 pitches in the last 3 days for Soriano. Now the first pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Appears to be a changeup. The count is 0-1. Luis Garcia Jr. at first. Ben Rice at third. Come and set Soriano at the belt. The 0-1. Check swing on the sweeper away. Did he go around? No, says the home plate umpire, and the count is 1-1. Why haven't they called for another rain delay? It's a good question, Dennis. Maybe they think it was just a very passing thing. Maybe they just want to get the bottom of the inning in. 1-1, and he goes and he plunks Helio Ramos, and now the bases are loaded with one out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Oh, George Soriano, the one thing you can't do, the hit by pitch. My goodness. The bases are juiced with one out. And here comes Spencer Jones, so it'll be a righty-lefty matchup. And yeah, he basically plunked Helio Ramos on the left shoulder there. Nothing but meat. He's going to have a little bruise later, I'd imagine. So the bases are juiced with one out. Bottom of the sixth inning, 3-0 Cardinals. Soriano comes set against the lefty Spencer Jones. 0-for-2, the pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup downstairs. The count is 0-1. Now, something you have to understand about Spencer Jones. While he does have the propensity for a strikeout, he has prodigious power. When he connects in a big way. Now, the 0-1. Swinging strike on the changeup down and in. Swinging over the top of that one was Spencer Jones. The count is 0-2. Back into the saddle is Spencer Jones. Bases juiced with one out. It's an 0-2 count. The 0-2 pitch. A changeup well down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. The human giant that Spencer Jones is back into the saddle. Come in set, Soriano. The 1-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. 97 miles per hour to the right hand of Soriano. The count is 2-2. Now he comes set at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. A changeup downstairs. Laying off that one is Spencer Jones, and the count is full, 3-2. So nowhere to put Spencer Jones. A big pitch here coming from George Soriano. He is trying to get the second out here. He sets at the belt. Everyone's on their feet. Here's the pitch. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play on the slider, and the count is 3-2. Home plate umpire walks over to get some more baseballs. Tell me about it, William Allen. I know. I've watched it. Now the 3-2. Ball 4 on the changeup up and away. Challenged immediately by Herrera, so ABS challenge incoming, and it's going to be close. For the second out of the inning. Just clipped that strike zone on the outside corner below the belt. Now the bases loaded with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Good challenge by Ivan Herrera. Now here's Jazz Chisholm Jr. Righty-lefty matchup. Bases juiced with 2 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. 3-0 Redbirds. And the first pitch to Jazz. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball. Down and in. The count is 0-1. Yeah, glad you like that, Voronor. He sets the 0-1. A changeup down and in and clear out of the zone. The count is 1-1. So George Soriano is walking on the knife's edge here. The place is soaked. The bases are loaded with 2 out in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. Been a very long bottom of the 6th. Now here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup downstairs. Swinging over the top of that one is Jazz Chisholm Jr. And the count is 1-2. Oh, Thurman. Soriano comes set at the belt. The 1-2 pitch. A changeup downstairs. Laying off it is Jazz Chisholm Jr. It is a 2-2 count. If I didn't mention it before, it is a righty-lefty matchup. Important information. 14 pitches so far for George Soriano in relief of Andre Pallante. Runners on second and third are his responsibility. The 2-2. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone, and the count is 3-2. Nowhere to put Jazz with the bases loaded and 2 out. On deck is the lefty third baseman, Ryan McMahon, the name I can't possibly forget. He comes set at the belt. The 3-2. A changeup on the inside corner, ruled the ball. Once again, challenged by Herrera, and it's going to be a close one. And it's confirmed a ball, so George Soriano walks in the first Yankee run of the night. Just missed the inside corner. Both teams only have 1 ABS challenge remaining, and that puts it down to a 3-1 Cardinal lead. Now here is the lefty Ryan McMahon, third baseman, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Righty-lefty matchup, the first pitch. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. A ground out and a walk. Against this veteran-laden team, you really have to earn it. Soriano comes set. The 1-0. Pop foul down the left field line and into the stands, and the count is 1-1. That run is charged to Andre Pallante. So now he is 5 1/3 with 1 earned run. The last one that's his responsibility is at third. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball inside. The count is 1-2. Coming set is Soriano. At the belt. The 1-2 to McMahon. Swinging strike 3. Down hacking goes Ryan McMahon. For the third and final out of the inning. So 1 run across on the walk that scores the run, but they leave the bases juiced. And at the end of 6 innings, it is a 3-1 Cardinal lead. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. 3-1 Cardinals going top of 7. Let's go back to the chat. Well, what an inning that was, folks. It looks like they're continuing to play. The rain seems to have let up sufficiently at this point. We'll see where it goes from here. It's hard to know what Mother Nature has in store. Still showing rain in the forecast tonight. About 43%, 42% going forward. It's nearly 10:30 p.m. local time at Yankee Stadium. Well, I can tell you this. That one was earned. I mean, nobody likes walking in a run with the bases loaded, of course. We know this. But limit the damage. We'll take it. So, 3-1 Cardinals going to the top of the 7th inning. Due up for the Redbirds is Cesar Prieto, J.J. Weatherall, and Ivan Herrera. So 9-1-2 in the Cardinal order. We'll see if they go and send Castro back out there. That was a very long half inning. Well put, Delta. Well put. So we're going to have Cesar Prieto out there, the left-hander. So for 2 with a strikeout. And he quickly steps out of the box to compose himself. Castro's out there for his 2nd inning of work. Righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Redbirds. Here's the pitch. Strike. 4-seam fastball down Broadway. The count is 0-1. On deck is J.J. Weatherall. Had a big hit earlier. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the Uncle Charlie. Down and in, and the count is 0-2. A line out and a strikeout looking for Cesar Prieto. Castro comes set above the belt. The 0-2 pitch. A curveball down and away, ruled a ball. The count is 1-2. That's a good question, Thurman. Not nearly as heavy as it was in the bottom of the 6th for that time. Castro sets above the belt. The 1-2 pitch. Hit on up the middle. Picked up there by George Lombard Jr. on a mid-hop. He throws to first in time to get Prieto for the first out of the inning. They had him very well shaded there on the shift. George Lombard Jr. was just a little to the left of the second base bag. And he managed to get Prieto by a couple of steps for the first out. Looks like there's a little visit out there in the mound. And Aaron Boone is going to the pen. He is going to the lefty, Tim Hill. So we have ourselves a pitching change. The lefty, Tim Hill, coming in to face the lefty, Weatherall. That's the story there. Give you the numbers in just a moment. Tim Hill, the 36-year-old left-hander this year in 50 games, a 3-2 record with a 4.50 ERA in 42 innings pitched. 20 strikeouts in that span, a whip of 1.19 for Tim Hill. He is kind of a left-handed specialist to a degree. So he has kind of a sidearm, almost submarine motion. So if you're a left-hand hitter, it looks like he's throwing out of right field. That's the idea here. Okay. We shall see, Harold. We shall see. This Lombard kid reminds me of another great Yankee shortstop. Phil Rizzuto? No, I'm just kidding. I know who you're talking about. Far too big to be Phil Rizzuto. Let's see here. Yeah, in fact, George Lombard Jr. is actually 6'2", 190 pounds. I mean, Phil Rizzuto wouldn't be 190 pounds if he had a huge sack of sand over his shoulder. This pitching change is brought to you by Steve's Hot Dogs. Try Paul D's Triple Cheese Mustard Tornado Dog today. The copywriter in the making, folks, Justin Beasley. If only Steve's Hot Dog knew how much free promotion they were getting on this channel right now. I definitely recommend them. Tower Grove, Chesterfield, very good stuff. So, here's the first pitch. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0 to J.J. Weatherall. Gave you the numbers on Tim Hill just a moment ago. In his last at-bat, a 2-out double that scored 2. Gave the Cardinals a 2-0 lead at the time. The pitch. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Yes, most definitely, Roger. Most definitely. He comes set. The 2-0 pitch. Strike. Sinker in the inside quarter below the belt. But the score bug is still showing 2-1 on the broadcast. Pretty sure I thought I saw him call it a ball. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on the sinker away, and the count is apparently actually 2-2. That's my screw up, folks. It's a 2-2 count. It's been a long night, Philip. Hill comes set. The 2-2 offering. A sinker away and out of the zone. The count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So nobody on with 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. 3-1 Cardinals. J.J. Weatherall. He is at the plate. 1 for 2 with a couple RBIs, a run scored, and a walk. Now, here's the pitch. Fouled straight back on the sinker up and in. The count remains 3-2. In some ways, this has been a bit of a slog, admittedly. Now, Hill comes set. The 3-2. Head out there into left field. Going back is Ramos a few steps. He makes the catch on the run for the second out of the inning. So J.J. Weatherall flies out 70. Helio Ramos. Tim Hill came in and got his guy. Now he will face the righty, Ivan Herrera, last at bat. A ground rule double and an RBI that scored J.J. Weatherall from second. That was the third run that led to this 3-1 Cardinal lead. Nobody on with 2 out. There's the first pitch. Strike, sinker on the outside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. Came in at 89 miles an hour to the left hand of Tim Hill. A strikeout, a ground out, and an RBI double. A ground rule. The 0-1. Strike, slider down Broadway, and the count is 0-2. Came in at 77 miles an hour, the left hand of Tim Hill. He sets the 0-2. Hit foul down the first baseline and out of play on the sinker away. The count is 0-2. Herrera gets back into the saddle. 10 pitches so far for Tim Hill. Here's a pitch. A 4-seam fastball well up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. 1-2. Here's a pitch. A 4-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. The count's 2-2. Jeremy, I can tell you this much. I've sat on both sides of this fandom, and I can assure you, that may seem to be the case, but it is not. The 2-2. Popped out there into shallow right field. Underneath it is Jazz Chisholm Jr. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 6.5 innings of play, it is a 3-1 Redbird lead going to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's 7th inning stretch time down at the big ballpark in the Bronx. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this evening, you haven't already done so and you feel I've earned it, you think I deserve it, please leave a like. It does a lot of good for this channel, and I really appreciate it. And if it's your first time here, you're not already subscribed, you've been here multiple times and you're still not subscribed, well, subscribe. We have a great time. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 3-1 Cardinals going bottom of 7. And a pair of super chats here. Well, actually, the one. I thought there was more than one. Maybe I came over that. Russell Morrow with the $2 super. Thank you so much, Russell. I do appreciate the support here on Game Mike. Means a lot. It helps a lot. Very important. And I thank you for doing so. Hey, Russell, I appreciate it. It is a sentiment that I hold very, very dear. Oh, boy. I don't usually do this, but we're only 2 likes away from 150, folks. Due up for the Yankees in the bottom of the 7th inning, the aforementioned George Lombard Jr., Austin Wells, and Trent Grisham, so 8, 9, and 1 in the Bomber order. Let's see who's going to be out there. It's still showing as George Soriano. We'll see. He's actually thrown quite a bit in this series. Take a drink indeed, David. They keep showing that Game 6 home run off the bat of David Freese in between innings and various commercials. What a great year that was. That was an incredible year. So we await the bottom of the 7th inning as they play Take Me Out to the Ball Game and some Cotton Eye Joe. And we're back for the bottom of the 7th, folks. Due up, Lombard Jr., Wells, and Grisham. If that's the case, it'll be a righty-righty matchup. 3-1 Cardinals, bottom of 7. 3-7-2 versus 1-3-0 tonight. Andre Pallante pitched his rear end off 5 in the 3rd, 1 earned run. And we're back to the action. Or so I've been told. So I've been led to believe. George Soriano back out there for his 2nd frame. Let's see what he's got, folks. It looks like the rain has held up. We'll see if that remains the case. Something is holding things up a little bit at the stadium. Things are just moving along very slowly at the moment. Yeah, it looks like the broadcast is almost just like scrambling for something to look at for how slow this is actually taking. Don't ask me why. I think it has to do with the grounds crew just kind of helping patch up the infield considering how wet everything is. Oh, David, he already got his first hit. That was on Monday night. A solo home run to left. George Lombard Jr. gets into the saddle. George Soriano sets the first pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball down Broadway. The count is 0-1. Ah, that's quite a superpower you have there, Russell. The 0-1 pitch. Changeup down and away, ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. I am so glad to hear that, Russell. We have a lot of fun here. I'm glad you have fun, too. Back into the box is George Lombard Jr. Ground out into single. He's 1 for 2. Nobody on, nobody out, bottom of the 7th inning. Stepping off the rubber there is George Soriano. Looks like he's having a little bit of issues. 1, getting on the same page with Herrera, and 2, getting the mud out from beneath his and between his cleats. Well, he should have been an all-star second baseman, that's for sure, David. He's not going to get overlooked for long. Back into the box is George Lombard Jr. Coming set at the belt is Soriano. It's a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Strike, sweeper on the inside quarter below the belt. The count is 1-2. One thing we know about George Lombard Jr. is he knows how to turn on a fastball inside. He did it the other night. Setting at the belt is Soriano. He deals. Swinging strike 3. Down hacking goes George Lombard Jr. for the first out of the inning. So Soriano comes in here in the bottom of the 7th. Immediately gets a strikeout of George Lombard Jr. on the sinker in. Swinging underneath that one was George Lombard Jr. So nobody on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 3-1 Cardinals. And here comes Ollie Marmol. He's going to the pen. So there goes George Soriano. And he's bringing in the lefty, Justin Brule, which actually makes a lot of sense here because there is a slew of lefties in the row. Austin Wells, lefty. Grisham, lefty. Ben Rice, lefty. Luis Garcia Jr., lefty. 4 in a row. So we have ourselves a pitching change. Let me give you the numbers here on Brule here in a moment. All right. The 29-year-old left-hander Justin Brule in 49 games this year has a 0-0 record, an ERA of 3.64 in 54 1/3 innings pitched, 39 strikeouts in that span, and a whip of 1.38. With the departure of JoJo Romero, along with Dustin May, in that deal with the Brewers, he's become the foremost lefty in the pen. Make of that what you will. More calf. When you put the rain delay in it, I expect you to go on air at 5:55 p.m. Central Time tonight. I'm about 4 hours, almost 4 hours deep into this prep. A little longer the night than I'm used to, but I'm not complaining. I'm lucky. I get to watch and call a good game, and I get to do it with everyone here. What more could I possibly ask for? I mean that quite sincerely. So we're awaiting the end of this pitching change. Justin Brule will face the catcher, Austin Wells, the 9-hitter tonight. Gave you the numbers on Brule just a moment ago. Nobody on with 1 out following the strikeout by George Soriano of George Lombard Jr. And Herrera's actually out there having a little word with Justin Brule, whispering sweet nothings into his ear. And we have ourselves a pinch hitter here. If I didn't know any better, that looks like, oh yeah, Paul Goldschmidt, the pinch hitter here for Austin Wells. So it'll be a lefty-righty matchup. Here's Goldie, folks, and the first pitch. Strike, sweeper down Broadway at the knees. The count is 0-1. Paul Goldschmidt this year, 38-year-old first baseman, 294 at-bats, hitting .245 with 16 home runs and 44 RBIs. The 0-1. A four-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. I am a huge fan of Paul Goldschmidt. He was a fantastic Cardinal. Common sense, Brule, the 1-1. Swinging strike on the sinker on the outer third, and the count is 1-2. Goldie. That, and I love the first name. Couldn't wear his number 46, though. It's retired here for the Yankees for Andrew Eugene Pettit. And the 1-2 pitch. A changeup in the dirt, picked up on the backhand there by Herrera. The count is 2-2. Yeah, Goldie was Goldie was great. Great player, a great dude. Such a pro. Coming set at the belt is Brule. And the 2-2 pitch. Hit to the left side and goes just foul to the left of the bag, and the count remains 2-2. It looks like Brule slipped there on the slick mound. They're going to make sure he's all right. He looks like he's in some discomfort here. Let's see it on the replay. What happened? Looks like he slipped. He slipped and fell. He went actually down to his knees, so I imagine they'll probably take a little look at him, and indeed they are. So the training staff, Ollie Marmol, the infield, a couple umpires, Ollie Marmol, the whole gang. Let's see what happens here. It has everything to do with the condition of the mound right now. Does he? Hell, if that isn't irony, Dwayne. Even though every time I'm not calling a game he's pitching, he does pitch like Sandy Koufax. So, they're giving the look there to Brule. If he hurt anything, it might have been his right ankle. The grounds crew is out there on the mound drying things up even more. They're dusting pushing stuff up, putting some more drying agent out there, so we have ourselves a little break in the action. In fact, they're even removing the cleat cleaner to, pounce it off a couple of times, open it up, because it has so much mud in there from how much it's been used since the downpour. And Goldie goes over to the Yankee on deck circle, just killing some time. Training staff is actually physically removing the mud from the cleats of Justin Brule. Major league treatment, am I right, folks? My God. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah. No, it's not acceptable. And they know this. Oh, I would love to call the game, Anthony, but there has to be a game that's being played for me to call it. 161 likes. Thank you all so much. And if you're following Justin Beasley's lead here, let's hit 200. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty dandy, Phillip. Yeah, they're using a lot of drying agent out there, man. They basically buried the rubber, as well as home plate. They're doing the whole thing. So I imagine we'll be back to the action in just a moment. When we do, Paul Goldschmidt pinch hitting for the catcher Austin Wells. Invariably means they will go to the backup catcher in the top of the eighth, Ali Sanchez, as the defensive replacement. Unless Goldie can catch, but not that I'm aware of. Brule's taking a couple of practice throws there on the curated mound. He seems pretty happy with it. The action resumes. Oh, Anthony, I understand. Well, it's not raining now. It's just what's kind of gotten built up. So it's a 2-2 count here to Paul Goldschmidt. Pinch hitter here for the lefty catcher, Austin Wells. Ali Sanchez most definitely would be the replacement in the top of the eighth inning. Nobody on with one out. Bottom of the seventh inning. 3-1 Cardinals. Lefty-righty matchup. Coming sets Brule, the 2-2. Hit to the left side, and it's a fair ball, and it rattles around there in the corner. Going there over to left, picking up the ball is Torres, and into second with a one-out double is Paul Goldschmidt. And the Yankees have a runner on second with one out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Well, we can't say we haven't seen him do that before. Has the rain let up? It would appear so, Jeff. It would appear so. Doesn't look like anything's coming down. But no, Goldschmidt just out of the reach there of the glove of Blaze Jordan, pretty much hugging the line. Now, here is the lefty Trent Grisham, who's 0 for 3, so it'll be a lefty-lefty matchup with a runner on second and one out. A foul out, a strikeout, and a ground out for the lefty hitting center fielder for the Bombers. The first pitch. Hit to the third base side into foul territory. Caught by Blaze Jordan in foul territory for the second out of the inning. So a foul out on the first pitch by to Trent Grisham. That'll be the second out of the inning. Now here is Benjamin Rice. He does in fact represent the tying run. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. A pop out, a strikeout swinging, and a walk. That walk came back in the sixth. He's the tying run, and he has the power to tie it. Now the first pitch. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Brule comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play on the sinker in. The count is 1-1. Brule picks up the rosin bag. Looking to get a little better grip on this baby. Coming set. Now the 1-1 pitch. A sweeper away. It is ruled a ball. A very close call. Does not go Brule's way. The count is 2-1. 2-1 to Benjamin Rice, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Runner on second with 2 out. Bottom of the seventh inning. 3-1 Cardinals. Coming set is Brule. The 2-1 pitch. Hit foul down the first base line and out of play. 11 pitches so far for Justin Brule. Long innings, folks. Picks up the rosin bag again. Who can blame him? No, the drying agent Voronor is standard dirt color in baseball. The 2-2 pitch. A sinker down and away ruled a ball. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Benjamin Rice. On deck is Luis Garcia Jr., who's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Back into the saddle is Rice. Coming set is Brule, the 3-2. A sweeper down and away, so ball 4 by Ben Rice. That puts runners on first and second with 2 out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. And here comes Luis Garcia Jr., as I mentioned a moment ago, 0 for 2 with a walk. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. See, John, so uneasy right now. This bullpen is sketch. You got that right. Speaking of the bullpen, what do we know about the new lefty from the Reds? Oh, Craig Ferguson? Not the other Craig Ferguson. Not the good one. He was all right the other night. He should be a decent addition. Now, the first pitch of Garcia Jr. Strike, sinker on the outside corner, thigh high. The count is 0-1. Runners on first and second with 2 out, following the double by Goldie and the walk to Rice. The 0-1. Hit to the right side, picked up on the ground there by Prieto. He throws to first in time to end the inning. So, no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left on. After 7 full innings of play, it is 3-1 Redbirds going to the top of the 8th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 3-1 Redbirds going top of the 8th. Let's get back to the chat. Okay. Sweating indeed, Justin Beasley. Sweating indeed. Jimmy, Craig Ferguson is hilarious. My girlfriend and I loved his late show with, he is so good at being legitimately funny on his feet. He's one of the few comedians that can leverage the situation comedically out of sheer talent. And he was just great in front of a camera, just terribly charismatic. This game is like a doubleheader game. It sure feels that way, David. It's just very, very long tonight. Harold, take this from a podcaster. Who doesn't have a podcast nowadays? That's where the money is. Brewers, 71 wins. Yeah, best record in baseball. No, I don't mean to be glib, Harold. Yeah, he does have a podcast. And, what's his name? Conan O'Brien has one that's pretty decent. He seems to be enjoying the time away from a late night gig. I can't necessarily blame him. The medium is dying. It's dying to things like this. All right, we're back here for the top of the 8th inning. 3-1 Cardinals. Due up is Burleson, Fairmean, and Church. So 3, 4, 5 in the Cardinal order. Back out there is Hill. Lefty-lefty matchup. Hit to the right side. Picked up on the ground by Chisholm. He throws to first in time to get Alec Burleson, who grounds out 4-3 for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out there by Tim Hill here in the top of the 8th inning. 3-1 Cardinal lead. Conan is wonderful. And Aaron Boone is going to the pen. He's going to a right-hander, it would appear. Could be Cruz. No, he's going to Paul Blackburn. Oh, boy. We're getting all the faces in the Yankee bullpen tonight. Give you the numbers on Paul Blackburn here in just a moment. So we have ourselves a pitching change. Any copyright reads, Justin, that I should be reading out here for the pitching change? And I can't say it enough. He really does an amazing job on that score bug. So we await this pitching change. This pitching change is brought to you by Panera Bread. Go visit Jeff at Mid-Rivers Mall. Yeah, absolutely. Off of Veterans Memorial Parkway and I-70. I think it's technically in St. Peters. Oh, I have no doubt, Jimmy. I have no doubt. He's just a natural. He really is. I mean, I was raised on a heavy diet of George Carlin, whatever you may think of him. The things that I learned from that man. I actually got to see him perform live once in December of 2005 in Middletown, Connecticut. Went with my brother. It was something that my dad gave us as a Christmas present. You know, his stuff wasn't as great towards the end. He got, like, really super aggressive, which is weird because when you ever hear him just talk in a normal interview, he was actually a very, very light guy in certain respects, quite positive. Just never really came out in his late stuff, especially. Here's Paul Blackburn, 60 2/3 innings pitched in 41 games, a 2.08 ERA, a whip of 1.04. He's really turned it around this year for the Yankees after not having a really great 2025. Oh, yes, he was, Jimmy Otero. Ah, Jimmy, you and your girlfriend have fantastic taste. Here's Jose Fairmean. It's a righty-righty matchup here in the top of the 8th inning with 1 out. Nobody on. 3-1 Cardinals. The pitch. Sinker strike. Outer third below the belt. The count is 0-1. Yes, see, John, but as Jeff has informed me, that's only for area codes and zip codes in St. Louis County. The 0-1 pitch. A sweeper well away. Actually rolls all the way to the backstop. The count is 1-1. Oh, that's interesting. So they have replaced Luis Garcia Jr. at first defensively with Paul Goldschmidt and then put Ali Sanchez behind the plate. Here's the pitch. A sinker well upstairs and ruled a ball. And the count is 2-1. Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison for Honor. I really like a lot of his early stuff. I also like a lot of his 80s to like mid-90s stuff as well. Jamming in New York. How did I end up in New Jersey? The 2-1 pitch. A sinker down and in and out of the zone. The count is 3-1 to Jose Fairmean. Jose is 0 for 3 tonight. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the 8th inning. 3-1 Cardinals. Oh, there's a Tarps Off crowd out there. Here's the pitch. Hit to the left side. Picked up there by McMahon. Wide of third. He throws to first in time to get Jose Fairmean. So Jose Fairmean grounds out 5-3 for the second out here in the top of the 8th inning. There's a Tarps Off crowd, but it is not for the Cardinals, I can assure you. Yeah, Robin Williams, what a talent. Another guy I have trouble thinking about given the way it ended. Here's Nate Church. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Righty-lefty matchup, nobody on with 2 out. First pitch from Blackburn. A curveball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. No, Nate Church has had a very fine series here at Yankee Stadium this week. Sure did, Harold. The 1-0 pitch. Strike. Uncle Charlie inner third above the knees to Nate Church. The count is 1-1. I don't mean to disturb everybody here, but Ryan Stanek is getting hot down in the Cardinal pen. Ay, Dios mio. Here's the pitch. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play on the changeup low. The count is 1-2. Oh, Carlin at Carnegie was great. With that whole expanded words you can't say on TV, I loved it at the end of the set. He sets at the belt. The 1-2 pitch. Hit on up the middle. Picked up by George Lombard Jr. on the line for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks. Nobody left on. After 7.5 innings of play, it is 3-1 Redbirds going to the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here tonight on Game Mike, you haven't done so already, but you feel I've earned it, you've enjoyed your time here, please do leave a like. I cannot thank you enough for those who have done so, and I am greatly appreciated, and I thank you. And if you're enjoying your time here, you're not already subscribed, well then hit subscribe. We have a great growing community, not just of Cardinal fans, but baseball fans more generally here on Game Mike. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 3-1 Cardinals going bottom of 8. All right, so we got a little bit of Stanek panic in the air right now. We'll see what happens. Due up for the Bombers in the bottom of the 8th inning. Helio Ramos, Spencer Jones, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. So 4, 5, and 6 in the Yankee order. This pitching change is brought to you by Tylenol PM, the official sleep aid of Ollie Marmol. You're embracing your calling, Justin. A born advertisement, mid-call copywriter, if I've ever met one. So, with Ramos, presumably against Stanek, it'll be a righty-righty matchup. Righty-lefty with Spencer Jones and then Jazz Chisholm. Ramos is 1 for 2 with a double. Spencer Jones is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He had that big walk back in the bottom of the 7th. And then Jazz Chisholm, 0 for 2. An RBI and that with that walk, he also struck out. Here's Ryan Stanek in 49 games, 43 and 2/3 innings pitched. 4.74 ERA and a whip of 1.49. He strikes out 9.69 Ks per 9. That's a lot of 9s. He comes, set at the Birds, the first pitch. Strike. Uncle Charlie down Broadway below the belt to Ramos. The count is 0-1. 3-1 Redbirds here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He comes, set. Stanek deals. Hit out there into right field. Given chase out there is the right fielder, and it bounces into the stands. And it's a foul ball, and it was not foul by much, and the count is 0-2. 270 Academy. Liked and sub. You've earned it. Thank you, 270 Academy. I appreciate you letting me know that. Welcome aboard. Back into the box is Helio Ramos. A double, a line out, and a hit by pitch. Come and set Stanek. The 0-2. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. That came in at 98 miles per hour out of the right hand of Stanek. I'm down with that, Raja. He comes set. The pitch. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is even at 2-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-1 Redbirds. Coming set is Stanek. He deals. Hit foul down the first base side. Now to play on the four-seam fastball into Ramos. The count remains 2-2. 21 likes away from 200. We can do this. Listen to Justin Beasley. Justin knows the way. Coming set, Stanek sitting up inside his Herrera. Here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 3-2. Stanek comes set. The 3-2. Called strike three, four-seam fastball, and it is challenged immediately there by Ramos. It is going to be a very close ABS challenge. So let's see here. For the first out of the inning, Helio Ramos goes down in the observatory, gets the old backwards K. Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic for the first out of the inning. Oh, you got it. Raymond Gasquet, or Gask, perhaps. Thank you. Now here's Spencer Jones, righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Stanek. Four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. That came in at 99 miles per hour to the right hand of Stanek. Nobody on with one out. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-1 Redbirds. Spencer Jones is 0 for 3. A strikeout, a ground out, and a strikeout looking. Here's the pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball outer third thigh high, and the count is 1-1. He comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the slider up and away, and the count is 1-2. Okay, cool. Gask. Or Gasquet. Or Gask. I don't remember which I said first. The 1-2. A four-seam fastball outside ruled a ball. The count is even at 2-2. Either way, Raymond, thank you. And you're very welcome. Stanek sets. He deals. Hit to the right side. Picked up on the line there by Prieto for the second out of the inning. So the old Adam ball right at Cesar Prieto for the second out here in the bottom of the 8th. There is nobody on with 2 out. 3-1 Cardinal lead. Well, Raymond, I'm glad you're digging it so much, and I'm glad you found us. Yeah, I do Cardinals baseball. The first pitch to Jazz Chisholm Jr. A slider upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. It's a righty versus lefty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Redbirds. Yeah, I've been doing this here since about early May. Kind of fell into it. The 1-0. A four-seam fastball downstairs, and the count is 2-0. That came in at 98 miles an hour to the right hand of Stanek. And this thing is just kind of taken off on its own. I am a very lucky man. Stanek sets the 2-0. A four-seam fastball outside ruled a ball. The count is 3-0 to Jazz Chisholm Jr. On deck is Ryan McMahon. He struck out to end the bottom of the 7th rally by the Bombers. He sets the 3-0. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, underneath the belt to Jazz Chisholm Jr. The count is 3-1. Stanek sets. Stanek deals. Ball 4 away, so Jazz Chisholm works a 2-out walk here in the bottom of the 8th. The Bombers have a runner on first with 2 out. Who's home? The Yankees are at home. They are playing at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Russell Morrow with a $2 super. Thank you so much, Russell. I really appreciate it. Your generosity is deeply appreciated. Here's Ryan McMahon. He's 1 for 4. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Hi, Jonesy. You got it. Howdy, Jonesy. I'm glad you're watching. Welcome. Nice to meet you. Now, the 1-0 pitch. A slider up and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Cardinals won't be back at Yankee Stadium until 2028. It's been a real fun series. Yeah, it has. Really competitive baseball between these two clubs. Back into the box is the lefty McMahon. He's 0 for 2, the third baseman. Runner leads off first. The 2-0 pitch. A four-seam fastball well upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 3-0 to Ryan McMahon. You are very welcome, Russell. I'm happy to do call-outs. McMahon is back into the saddle. And time is called by the home plate umpire. Ryan Stanek briefly stepped off the rubber. Jazz Chisholm leads off first with 2 out. Stanek comes set. Now the 3-0. Ball 4, so 4 straight out of the zone to Ryan McMahon, and the Bombers have runners on first and second with 2 out here at the bottom of the 8th inning. And here comes George Lombard Jr., the rook, in his 3rd Major League game. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. George Lombard Jr. is 1 for 3. He struck out in his last at-bat. Dusty Blake, the pitching coach, is coming out there to have a little word there with Ryan Stanek. I wonder what he has to say. Yo, dude, attack the zone. We got you. I'm just guessing. Oh, that would be very interesting, Hodag. Trying to complicate my life in more ways than one. 21 pitches so far for Stanek. Yeah, that's actually a good point, Justin. He's my best friend, Cards fan. I'm a Pirates fan. We got 4 baseballs in Busch Stadium. Nice pickup. Riley O'Brien getting loose down there in the Cardinal pen. We'll see what happens. No, C. John, it's not like that, and the bleacher creatures have since been diluted because of it. It's actually a real tragedy. Old Section 39. So for anybody that's not familiar, at the old Yankee Stadium, the bleachers in the outfield were cut off from the rest of the grandstands, so you couldn't go from the grandstands into the bleachers into the grandstands. And out in right center field at old Section 39 were the infamous bleacher creatures. They still exist, but not in the same way. Oh, the things I've heard sitting out in Section 39. The first pitch to Lombard Jr. Strike, slider down Broadway below the belt. The count is 0-1. Things that I could never say on YouTube. Stuff that would get me permanently banned, and often got them thrown out. In addition to the alcohol ban out there as well. They always snuck it in, though. The 0-1 pitch. A half-swing strike on the four-seamer in, and the count is 0-2 to George Lombard Jr. Best part of the rain delay. I'm home with a beer. I had to finish up with y'all, Paul D., with yet another amazing call tonight. Jeff, I am so glad you dig it so much. Lombard Jr., 21-year-old rookie, gets back in the box. Where's the number 96? Stanek sets. The 0-2. Swinging strike 3. Down heck and goes Lombard Jr. for the 3rd and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, and 2 left on. After 8 full innings of play, it is 3-1 Cardinals going to the top of the 9th inning. I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's get back to that chat. All right. You never got to old Yankee Stadium, Harold? Oh, that's a shame. You really missed out. I'm not trying to rub it in or anything by any means, but it was just such a great experience. The new one is just like a weird copy of like the pre-renovation original Yankee Stadium, and it's fine. It has a lot of wonderful stuff. I've seen a lot of games there. I've enjoyed myself, but the original Yankee Stadium was unassailable. All right, it made Wrigley Field and Fenway Park niche players by comparison. You don't get me worked up on this. I've been on this for almost 2 decades now. Everybody's sick of hearing it. And I'm not going to subject you all to that right now. Why? Because I like you and I want you to stick around. Due up for the Cardinals in the top of the 9th inning, Blaze Jordan, Brian Torres, and Jimmy Crook. So 6, 7, 8 in the order. There has been some defensive jiggering for the Cardinals. Into the game is Mason Wynn. He's at short. J.J. Weatherall, who had been out at short, moves to second, and Cesar Prieto is out of the game. So that means if we get to the 9 hole here, we're going to get a Mason Wynn at bat. How about that, folks? I've been to Wrigley, never to Fenway. I prefer, as everybody knows here, in terms of the two antique ballparks, I prefer Wrigley over Fenway. I've been to both multiple times. Actually, I've been to Wrigley a lot of times. I've been to Fenway 3 times. And it's fine, but it's just more claustrophobic for me. Wrigley, I like it a bit better. It's more open air. Well, they're both open air, but it's more open in general. Now, the first pitch from Blackburn. Strike, four-seam fastball, correction, sinker on the inside corner. The count is 0-1. Here's Blaze Jordan, who's 1 for 3. 3-1 Cardinals, top of the 9th inning. Coming sets, Blackburn, righty-righty matchup. The 0-1. A cutter away, ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. Once again, behind the plate is Ali Sanchez. At first base is Paul Goldschmidt, defensively for the Yankees, here in the top of the 9th. He comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Strike, sinker on the outside corner, whispers over the black, bat knee high. The count is 1-2. I don't know, Grimsum. Maybe you are just... Here's the pitch. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. Count is 2-2. Maybe you're simply a masochist. I don't know. I would not presume to know. Thought. Common sense, Blackburn at the belt. 2-2 to Jordan. Hit to the left side and into left field for a leadoff base hit off the bat of Blaze Jordan. He is now 2 for 4 tonight, and the Cardinals have a leadoff runner on first here in the top of the 9th inning. We're going to Cards versus Bucks game 28 and 29 Busch. Oh, I hope you have a great time. Dodger Stadium, Oakland, and Seattle are the only stadiums I've been to. I've only been to Dodger Stadium of the 3 you mentioned. I still really want to see what used to be called Safeco and now is, I think, T-Mobile Field up in Seattle. It seems like a really, really good venue. Now here's Brian Torres, righty-lefty matchup, the first pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup upstairs from Blackburn. The count is 0-1. Runner leads off first. It's an 0-1 count, righty-lefty matchup. The 0-1 pitch, he shows bunt, pulls back. The changeup downstairs is a ball. The count is 1-1. 16 pitches so far for Paul Blackburn. Really turning it around out of the Yankee bullpen this year. Jordan leads off first. Coming sets, Blackburn. The 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the changeup down and in. Swinging over the top of that one was Torres. The count is 1-2. Going to a Cardinal game before my birthday. When's your birthday, Rush Dash? Jordan leads off first. It's a 1-2 count. Now the 1-2 pitch. A curveball bounced out in front of home plate, blocked very well there by Ali Sanchez. Staying at first is Blaze Jordan. The count is even at 2-2. I would not presume to know. Is there a bet? I would not presume to know. Coming set is Blackburn. And the 2-2 offering. Called strike 3, a changeup on the outer third below the belt. Challenged immediately there by Torres. So he's going to use the last ABS challenge available. Let's see. Strike 3 looking, down looking goes Brian Torres, and it just absolutely whispered over the top of the strike zone on the outer third to Torres. So both teams are out of ABS challenges now. That's the first out of the inning. The runner is still at first. Now here's tonight's DH, Jimmy Crooks. He's 1 for 3. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Coming sets, Blackburn. And the first pitch. Hit foul down the first baseline and out of play, and the curveball down and in. The count is 0-1 to Jimmy Crooks. A strikeout swinging, a single, and a foul out for Jimmy. Blackburn looks in, sets at the belt. The 0-1. Strike. Uncle Charlie outer third at the thighs, and the count is 0-2. 21 pitches so far for Blackburn. Still a runner on first. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the best of Jimmy Crooks, who slowly gets back into the saddle. Blaze Jordan leads a very short lead off first. Coming sets Blackburn, the 0-2. Hit out there into left field. Going back is Ramos near the wall, and it hits the base of the wall, and it caroms out there in left field. Tossing it in is Trent Grisham, and now the Cardinals have runners on second and third with one out. On the opposite field double off the bat of Jimmy Crooks. Runners on second and third with one out here in the top of the ninth inning. And here comes Mason Wynn for his first plate appearance of the night. That thing just kept going. Ramos just kept going back. It hits the bottom of the wall below the Budweiser sign in left field. It caroms way back, so Trent Grisham has to run out of left center to go and pick the thing up. And it's a double with one out. Now here is Mason Wynn, righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Hit on up into the center. Picked up there, Ryan, and he throws to first in time. So both of the runners have to stay in place there. It was hit far too short. The Yankees had the infield in, and that is the second out of the inning. For the Yankee fans in the audience, that is one of the times where Ryan McMahon's defense has truly paid off. Not every third baseman in the league would have been able to pull that off so smoothly. And here is J.J. Weatherall with two out. And here's the pitching coach for the Yankees coming in here to have a chat with Paul Blackburn with two on, runners on second and third, and two out, top of the ninth inning, 3-1 Redbirds. Oh, boy. Long game, folks. Long night. So, when the powwow out on the mound has eventually broken up, undoubtedly, a meeting on the mound that could have been an email, if not a text message, Paul Blackburn will face J.J. Weatherall, who's 1 for 3, with a 2 RBI double back in the top of the fifth. Riley O'Brien is just standing by out there in the pen for the bottom of the ninth. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch to Weatherall. A cutter down and in, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. A walk, a ground out, a 2 RBI double, and a foul out for J.J. Weatherall. He is 1 for 3. Runners on second and third with two out. 3-1 Cardinals, top of 9. Coming set is Blackburn, the 1-0. A sinker down and in and well out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Runners lead. Blaze Jordan at third. Jimmy Crooks at second. The pitch. A changeup down and in and well out of the zone. The count is now 3 balls and no strikes. So the question is, does J.J. Weatherall go into statue mode here in 3-0? I would say probably, but you never know. Coming sets Blackburn. The 3-0. Ball 4 on the sinker away. So now the pond is full of ducks, Thurman. The pond is full of ducks. For Ivan Herrera with two outs here in the top of the ninth inning, gets a 3-1 Redbird lead. 187 likes. Come on, y'all are watching. Give your likes by giving a like. Lifting to Jimmy Otero. Righty-righty matchup. In the box is Herrera. 1 for 4. The pitch. Strike, sinker down Broadway, 96 miles an hour out of the right hand of Blackburn, and the count is 0-1. A strikeout swinging, a ground out, a ground rule double for an RBI, and a pop out. He is 1 for 4. Bases, the pond is full of ducks, Thurman, the 0-1. A changeup strike on the outside corner. That undoubtedly would have been challenged by Herrera had there been any ABS challenges remaining, and it would have been a good challenge, but the count is 0-2. Wally Pipp would be replaced by Lou Gehrig. End of story. Coming set is Blackburn. The 0-2 to Herrera. Called strike 3. Sinker on the outer third, thigh high for the third and final out of the inning. So, No runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 3 left on. We go to the bottom of the ninth. The Redbirds have a 3-1 lead here in the rubber match at Yankee Stadium in this 3-game weekday set. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 3-1 Cardinals going bottom of 9. Quacking loud, Brother Joe, indeed. I don't know if you're out there at the moment, Thurman. I know you were out there earlier tonight. But I cashed that check. Due up for the Bombers in the bottom of the 9th inning. Paul Goldschmidt, Trent Grisham, and Ben Rice. 9-1-2 in the Yankee order. This pitching change is brought to you by Tums, the official antacid of the Cardinals bullpen. Do you just come up with these on the fly? You can answer me, Justin. I can hear you in the headphones. The one-word answer, yes. Right out of the ether and right into my ear holes. Oh, they're not putting in Gasolin. They're going to Riley O'Brien for the save. See what happens. See if I can give you the numbers on O'Brien. Still showing Stanek in the game. He's most certainly not still in the game. Goldschmidt, Grisham, Rice. That is a tall order, especially Goldschmidt and Rice. So we await the bottom of the 9th inning. Andre Pallante, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run earned, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. He really did the job tonight under more difficult than usual circumstances thanks to the weather. All right, Riley O'Brien, 31-year-old right-hander in 45 games at 3-4 with a 3.43 ERA, 44 2/3 inning pitch, 47 strikeouts in that span, a whip of 1.19. 26 saves and 31 opportunities this year. The first pitch. There's a fly ball out to right field. Going back is the right fielder underneath it. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Jose Fermin gets the grab. And 1 pitch, 1 out off the bat of Paul Goldschmidt. Here comes Trent Grisham. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. It's a 3-1 Redbird lead. A can of corn indeed. A can of corn indeed. Trent Grisham is 0 for 4 tonight. Lefty hitting center fielder. Coming sets O'Brien. And the first pitch. Strike. Sinker on the outer third below the belt. The count is 0-1. That came in at 98 miles an hour. The right hand of O'Brien. He sets at the belt. Now the 0-1. A sinker just a bit too high on the inner third, ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. Now the 1-1. Strike. Sinker whispers over the black of the inside corner at the knees. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Trent Grisham. Every time I hear that name, I think of John Grisham, you know, the prolific author. Maybe that's just me. O'Brien clears off his cleats, gets a little bit of that rosin bag. He comes set. Now the 1-2. Hit down the first base side and out of play on the sweeper, and the count remains 1-2. A foul out, a strikeout swinging, a ground out, and a foul out. That's the night Trent Grisham has had so far. Coming sets O'Brien. Now the 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back on the sinker upstairs. The count remains 1-2. That came in at 98 miles an hour. The right hand of Riley O'Brien. Grisham is back into the box. Coming sets O'Brien. Now the 1-2. Hit on up the middle on a loop. Picked up there by Mason Wynn behind second. He throws to first in time. So Riley O'Brien gets Trent Grisham to ground out 6-3 for the second out. And here comes Benjamin Rice. Ben Rice tonight is 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a strikeout. He is at DH. Popped out, strikeout swinging, a walk and a walk. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch. A sweeper down and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Rice gets back in the saddle. Coming set is O'Brien. The 1-0 offering. Check swing on the sweeper down and in. Did he go around? Yes, says the home plate umpire, and the count is 1-1. He couldn't check his swing on that sweeper down and in the dirt. So we have a 1-1 count here with 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the ninth, 3-1 Redbirds. Ben Rice at the plate. On the bump is Riley O'Brien. He comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Strike, sinker on the inner third below the belt. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ben Dirty Rice. That's not bad. Infield defense clearly shifted towards right with the lefty Rice. Now the 1-2. A sinker well inside. Get out of the way. That one was Ben Rice, and the count is 2-2. Oh, no kidding, Michael. Now he comes set. The 2-2. Foul tipped on the sweeper down and in. Rolls behind home plate. The count remains 2-2. Oh, nice cards clips. Oh, very good, Jesse. Looking in is O'Brien. He sets at the belt. The 2-2 to Rice. And a sweeper just misses the inside corner. It's ruled a ball, and the count is full, 3-2. On deck is Ali Sanchez, the backup catcher. Coming sets O'Brien, the 3-2. Foul back on the sinker, up and away, and the count remains 3-2. That came in at 97 miles an hour out of the right hand of O'Brien. Ben Rice is back in the saddle. Ali Sanchez is on deck. 14 pitches so far for O'Brien. The pitch. Ball 4 on the sinker in. So Ben Rice works a 2-out walk, and here comes the backup catcher, Ali Sanchez. He is in the 3-hole with the defensive replacement of Paul Goldschmidt going to first, and Ali Sanchez going behind the plate because Paul Goldschmidt pinch hit for the primary catcher, Austin Wells. He's in the 3-hole. It's a righty-righty matchup. Runner on first with 2 out. He represents the tying run at the plate. The first pitch. Strike, sinker down Broadway at the knees. The count is 0-1, 98 miles an hour at the right hand of O'Brien. Ben Rice leads off. Actually, Ben Rice takes second on defensive indifference. And the 0-1. A sinker well away, very nicely caught there by Ivan Herrera, or else that thing would have gone flying to the backstop, and the count is 1-1. Ali Sanchez in 31 games, 273, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, a 669 OPS. It's a 1-1 count. Ritter leads off second. Coming sets O'Brien. The 1-1 pitch. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. O'Brien gets a little touch of that rosin. Who can blame him? He comes set. The 2-1 to Sanchez. A sinker just misses the outside corner. It is ruled a ball, and the count is 3-1. Oh, what they wouldn't give for an ABS challenge right there. On deck is Helio Ramos. O'Brien sets. Runner leads off second. The 3-1. Strike, sinker down Broadway. The count is 3-2. So Riley O'Brien is 1 strike away here against Ali Sanchez. The runner at second, Ben Rice, taking second on defensive indifference. Back into the saddle goes Sanchez. Ben Rice slowly leads off second. Looking in as O'Brien setting at the belt. Setting up inside Herrera. The 3-2. Foul tipped on the sinker upstairs, and the count remains 3-2. 98 miles an hour. "21 pitches here for O'Brien. He sets. The 3-2 pitch. Called strike three. Sinker on the outside corner at the knees. For the final out of the game, and it is a 3-1 Redbirds lead. They take the rubber match in the series, and you know what that means, folks. It's time for the victory tune. Play your air guitars at home or wherever you may be. 3-1 Redbirds is your final. Cardinals is your final. They take game 3, the rubber match. They win the series. The first series they've won since the All-Star break at Yankee Stadium, admittedly against a very hobbled Yankee team. No Bellinger, no Judge, no Stanton. But it's still the Bombers. They're a veteran-laden team who knows how to score a lot at home, and they take the series victory on the road. 3-1 Cardinals is your final. Tomorrow is an off day, the first off day in 20 games. Andre Pallante improves to 12-6. Will Warren falls to 8-6. Riley O'Brien, his 27th save. The Cardinals improve to 57-58, still a game under 500. And the Yankees fall to 64-51. That is your final, folks. 3-1 Redbirds, Yankee Stadium. They take the series. You can hang your hat on that. Oh, night, everyone. Be well, Corey. Jimmy, a win before my birthday tomorrow. Love it. Great call, Paul. Thanks. And in advance, Jimmy, happy birthday. See, John, ended my St. Louis vacation with a solid win. Hey, glad to see you're in town. Jeff Coleman, great win. Great call again, Paul D. Birds, absolutely. Doge Bowl. Cardinals 27, Yankees 28, all time. Yes, you did, Russell. To your credit. Justin Beasley, good night, Check. Good night, Paul D. See you on Friday. Paul D, great game. You got it, Howard Dalton. Hodag, be well until Friday, everyone. With that said, as far as Friday goes, so tomorrow is the off day. First pitch scheduled on Friday. They are playing Colorado down there at Busch Stadium. A 7:15 p.m. Central start time. I will be live here on Game Mic at 7:05 p.m. Central time on Friday. That is the 7th of August. So, next game, Friday night at Busch Stadium against the Rockies, 7:15 p.m. Central Time. I'll be live here on Game Mic with a play-by-play live stream at 7:05 p.m. Central Time. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me and spending part of your Wednesday night here with me on Game Mic. Delta Leader, thanks for the calls, Paul. Appreciate it a lot as always. You got it, Delta. See you Friday, gents. See you there, Harold. Rush Dash, let's keep it up, hopefully. See, John. Great call, Paul D. Cheers to all, and cheers to you, C. John. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic. 3-1 Cardinals over the Yankees. They take the series. It is your final. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic. Bombers Game Mic over and out. Be well, both you and yours, wherever you may be. Thank you. Have a good night. Enjoy your off day. I'll see you on Friday night. Take care, y'all.